what up, YouTube? It's your girl, DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. So happy Monday. It is Monday, right? I hope you guys are doing well. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button as you come into the building. Also, if you are new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share, and like the content as well. Listen, I wanted to pop up here for you guys. I had some time on my hands. I know it's not the usual time, but listen, as you come in, make sure you hit the like button and definitely be ready to chime in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts on this topic today. So we're going to get right into it. Shout out to everybody watching. I see Ada James in the building. Happy Monday. And how are you, Ada James? I hope all is well. Lorenzo Redmond in the building. Shout out to you. Lorenzo Redmond, what's going on? Alex, what's going on, Alex? How are you, Alex? What is it? Veltastic 23. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to you. I hope you guys are doing well. So, happy Men's Mental Health Month. I see Alex posted that. I forgot it was that, but happy Men's Health Month to all of you guys. I hope y'all are doing good. So, y'all see the title. The title of this stream says Red Pill Dating Coach Gets on Kendra G Nerves plus Bad Bees Are Broke. Listen, I saw this this clip of this guest on Kendra G. I think I saw it was on I saw it on her show, but I saw it through Single by Choice's channel. And I was like, I had to talk about this one because there's this guy on here who is a red pill coach, and he's gonna, you know, give his take on what he tells men and how he tells men to go about dating. And I want to get y'all perspective on it. So make sure you are ready to give your thoughts in the chat. I want to hear y'all thoughts on this because I think there was some things I agree with him on and some things I disagree. But I really want to get y'all take on it. So make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you are hitting the like button. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. What's up, CJ Johnson? How are you? Hope all is well with you. And thank you so much for being here. So we're going to get into the first clip. Before we get into that, I have another clip I want to share with you guys. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you want to support the channel, hit the like button, or you can super chat or cash app the channel. All I ask is if you give at least a $5 super chat to support the channel, you guys, if you can. And if not, make sure you are hitting the like button. That definitely helps the channel out as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into it, you guys. I want to start with this clip here, which I think is important. And then we're going to get into the Kendra G clip as well. Make sure you're hitting the like button as you come into the building. All right, here we go.
Girls come outside, they don't have any money. They consider themselves bad. They got on an outfit from Rainbow that costs $10. Wow. They come in, they got their BBL, they invested in the BBL. So they think they're a bad bitch. Okay. And that's what the world looks as a bad bitch. I look at a bad bitch as somebody that, of course, looks nice, right? But you got your shit together, you got your head on your shoulders, your spirit is right, your mind is right, you know what I'm saying? Your pockets is right, you know, you have good intentions, you're not out here trying to use people and manipulate men and stuff like that, use them up and soak them out and then go to the next. That's not my definition of a bad bitch. Okay. My definition of a bad bitch is somebody that has a career, you're an entrepreneur, you're just a true hustler, of course you're beautiful. You know, that's my definition of a bad bitch, with positive intentions, nothing negative about you. You're not a manipulator. You're not a person that can't think for themselves. I love a woman that's an independent thinker, because I'm an independent thinker. Okay. I don't need to ask somebody, hey, what draw should I put on today?
How about that?
You know, you got a lot of guys out here that's like, hey, what you think about this? What you think? I don't have to ask nobody nothing.
A lot of people, man. Now, before we get into this next clip, I want to know your thoughts on that. You know, I think what he said made a lot of sense. You know, and I talk about this all the time. One in the chat if the audio is good. I'm so sorry. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is good before I get to yapping. Please put a 1 in the chat if the audio is good. I want to make sure you guys can hear me properly. So before I get to yapping, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. If the sound is good, please. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate that. Freddie put a 1. Lorenzo, y'all can hear me good. Okay. What's going on, Eric M. Felton? How are you? All right. So thank y'all. Cause I get to talking and a lot of times I be on mute and I don't realize that y'all be screaming in the chat. We can't hear you. We can't hear. So I like to make sure that y'all can hear me. So y'all can hear me good. Now, I want to just say what this guy had to say. I think that's the guy from Pop the Balloon, if I'm not mistaken. I forget his name, Monty or something. But he made a good point. A lot of women out here are claiming, that they're bad bees. I'm gonna just say it like that because they have a BBL or they think that they look so great. So, a whole lot is required from men. That is one of the major issues we're seeing with a lot of these modern women. They all look the same. They all have the same wigs on, the same BBLs, the same teeth, the same makeup, the same everything, the same outfits. And so according to them, they are all 10s. So the requirements for men for what they expect from a man has gone up through the roof. You know what I mean? Because they believe that they are these special creatures that deserve the world and more, and a man is supposed to give it to them. But the problem with that is they have this skewed idea of what their worth is and what they are, who they are, and what they should be to a man. And what they should be to and for a man is very minimal. But what a man should be for them is astronomical. And that to me is part of a big part of why the dating world is so jacked up, because a lot of these women have been sold this idea that they are queens and that they are the best thing ever, and men should be worshiping them and should be running behind them and chasing them, and men are not moving in that way, and it's throwing them off. So this is why you have women who are out here complaining about where the real men at and why these men at and what they're doing, because these men they realize that it's the juice is not worth the squeeze. As I hear some men say, the juice is not worth the squeeze. There's nothing that these women offer, that these women are willing to offer to a man that excites a man and makes a man think that he has to do all of this for these types of women. So it's this idea, and I don't know where they get this from, really. This idea that as a woman, because we have vaginas, that's what I think, solely because we have a vagina, that we can just ask the world of men and not really give anything in return. That is basically what it is. A man, because a man is supposed to be the protector and the provider, they've taken that and they've made it into something that is not. They think that men should be protecting and providing for them just in a dating phase, but, just pay their rent and do all this just to date them. And that's where the big problem has arisen. A lot of these women are delusional. And this is the word I like to use because it is a state of delusion that a lot of these modern women are in, thinking that it is the responsibility of men in general to come in as if they ask to date them or try to get to know them, that it is their responsibility to take care of them and pay them, astronomical amounts of money and pay for this and pay for that. And if you don't, you're not a man. You're not a real man. But the minute you turn that around and you say, you know what, as a woman, the type of woman that I'm looking for, can you cook? Can you clean? Are you ready to be a housewife? Are you cooperative? Can you work with a man? Do you know what it takes to keep a man? Do you have the qualities and the abilities to be with a man, keep him, cater to him, do things for him to? Then this is when they and then the attitudes start coming out, because that's not something that they want to do. They really have been given a bunch of BS, and somebody has made them think that is what, a man is supposed to do all of these things, and you just supposed to sit back and look pretty. Well, those days are over. And they're not even, and a lot of these women aren't even the type of women that will qualify for that type of treatment. And I think, and that's the part, and they think these BBLs, these wigs, and all this stuff, all this fake stuff is the draw for the men, because I guess at a point there were some men who would, give those women attention. Of course, there are some men who would give them attention, but it's not the attention that would lead to stable, healthy relationships. I think the idea of what I'm saying when it comes to stable, healthy relationships, I don't think these modern women really want that. And honestly, I think at the core of it, we have men and women who say they want a healthy relationship with a woman, but it doesn't look like that is highly possible. So I think now the narrative is shifting. I think a lot of men and women are starting to not focus so much. And y'all let me know if this is what you are seeing or hearing. Let me know. I think a lot of men and women are not even as focused on a relationship anymore like they used to be, because they just don't think that they have quality women, or and these women don't have men who are willing to simp for them 24/7. So the only other alternative is to start trying to, the women are trying to go lesbian. I see that happening. And that ain't even working, because they coming from that, they're going back and forth with that. And then, it's like that ain't working. Two women, they're having a hard time over there. So I don't know if that's going to work. And a lot of these women are losing their jobs, and they're becoming homeless, and they're struggling financially, even though we claim to be the most educated and the boss chicks get into the bag. But a lot of them are struggling financially. A lot of people are struggling financially. And that's not a good thing. And I'm not championing that, but it's just the reality of which we're in. And a lot of these women are by themselves. They're single mothers. So they're having it harder. On top of that, the fact that they're removing food stamps and, Medicaid and all these government assistance programs that these women have been clinging to for years while claiming boss chick status, and men ain't this, and they broke while you getting Section 8 and all the government stamps and money and everything from the government. You're claiming men are broke when you are actually the broke ones. And if you didn't, and now things are shifting, and these government programs are starting to, be taken away. They're out here crashing out. And they're gonna make a way somehow. But then on top of that, you don't have the simpish men that you used to depend on to finesse money out of. So now that a lot of these men have been red pilled, and they have been told, you should not be a simp for a woman, you should not be paying a woman's bill, you should not be using your money to try to get a woman, these women are assed out and they don't know what to do. So it's going to be a little more difficult for them to try to maintain if they don't have this little extra bit coming from Pookie, a little bit coming from Ray Ray, a little bit coming from Timothy and Sherrod and Keanu and Rob and Kevin and whoever, how many they got on however many they have on their roster. They're not going to be able to finesse the coins out of all of those men to do things that they would normally, depend on them to do, plus the government and all of this. So, and plus someone be scamming and all kinds of stuff. So it's like, with all of these things out of the way, it's going to be difficult for them to maintain. So this is why they're crashing out. And it's not all, it's just the ones that are. They're crashing out. They don't know what to do. They're claiming they're going to figure it out, but they stress the hell out, because they're like, wait a minute, what I'm going to do? I don't have my roster coming through. I don't have the government. I don't have this. And it's going to be very difficult. So they realize too that shaming these men is not working either. That is not shaming them. That is not working. You're not shaming them into submission. You're not shaming these men into wanting you and giving you all their check and giving you all their money and running all over trying to get them for what? The juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore, and they know it. The cat's out the bag. You know what I mean? The jig is up. These men are aware of what's out there. So now these women are going to become desperate, in my opinion. I could see it happening. They're becoming desperate. They're going to be willing. They're going to be, instead of them running away from men with this 3B movement, was that what it was, the 3B? No, they're going to be running towards y'all, baby. Get ready. They're going to start running to you saying, please, out of desperation, hey, I'll do whatever you want me to do because I need these bills paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to get crazy. I'm just saying it's going to get crazy. And so this is why I advocate for, people getting together. That's what we're supposed to do. Working out a relationship if you can. If you can't, you can't. You can't make a person be what you need them to be. So if a person is not what you need them to be, okay, you can't force that. You know what I mean? Even though I'm an advocate for marriage and relationships, I understand that is just not going to be the case for everybody. Everybody's not going to be able to do that. So in my opinion, a lot of the men have always been doing what they need to do to thrive and survive. A lot of these women like to call these men broke and dusty and they cheap and they this. No, they're smart. A lot of them are smart. They know where and how to spend their coins. They're not out here trying to live like the Joneses and all this kind of stuff and live up and live up to the Joneses and try to be all this and live this fancy life. A lot of men are more financial stable than a lot of these modern women. And these women like to, get out here and talk about, we leveling up, we buying houses, and we doing this and we doing that, and these men are just stuck. No, they talking about Pookie and Ray Ray. They talking about the real at the bottom of the dudes who ain't even got a job, ain't doing shit. Like I'm gonna play this clip of this lady because this proves to you the pool of men that they've been swimming in. They've been swimming in a pool of men who are way at the bottom for real. Don't have shit, don't got a car, don't have a job, don't live with their mom. Just and they're 40 years old. Like they dealing with men who have not established themselves or don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out. That's who they've been giving their bodies to, Pookie and Brady. That's why you can't even put them on child support because they ain't got no money to give you, child. So my child support checks is $15. So that's the kind of men y'all giving babies to. When I'm talking, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about thriving men, average men though, and above average to above average men who have things going for themselves. Men who have jobs and have businesses and things like that, who have stuff going. I'm not talking about the men way at the bottom that ain't never held down a full-time job, ain't never got any benefits from a job, ain't never did anything. This seems to be the type of men that these women are referring to, and they putting all the men in that category, which is crazy to me. But anyway, so I want to get on to this next clip because she gonna basically say every time I hear these women talk, it sounds like they talking about somebody who just don't have shit, but y'all to give him 2 or 3 babies. I don't understand that. The bare minimum, they dealing with the bare minimum. This is why they don't want the bare minimum from the next men. But because you've accepted the bare minimum the whole time. And now you want this man to level up, and you yourself is struggling and don't really be having it together. So let's listen to this clip. Here we go.
In my comments, because I said you got to have money in a relationship with me. That is true. It is not back in the day no more. Well, shit wasn't that expensive. Everything is expensive. Even me. I cost. Yeah, and you got to have a car also. I don't want to hear that this old school Dunker's in the shop for the last 5 years and you don't know when it's coming out. Well, let me know when you get one. A regular car. Yeah, and if you got an old school Crown Vic and your starter went out, you're not starting this car. Let me know when you get one. There's no such thing. Yeah, and I'm a big deal. Literally, if I got money, you got to have money. But ladies, let me say this. Also, you need to provide what you require. But that's simple. It's easy for us. Like sometimes most of these women, we have everything coming in the relationship. We do. Now, I don't know who y'all been dealing with that ain't got shit, but a lot of us ladies that's established with careers and all that, we got it all. I require the same thing though. Yeah, I don't want to hear your story. That was in my 20s when I didn't give a damn about nothing, not looks, just only personality and how he treat me because I lived in the projects. I thought I was in a mansion then. So it wasn't that much. But now, shit, you better have some money. Call it what you want, gold digging, use it. I don't give a damn. I know how to pay for dates too, but at the same time, I ain't saying now as soon as we start talking, you got to pay my rent, my lights, my water, none of that. But what I am saying is if I say, hey, boo, it's been 6 months, get my oil change. You shouldn't have to call your homeboy, your grandma, your auntie, or nobody to borrow the money. That's what I'm saying. Because then you ain't got no business with me. Thank you.
Well, I mean, listen. Listen. Ain't nobody saying, this is what I'm saying. The bar has been set, they've set the bar. They started off setting the bar really low. And then like she said, she didn't require much at first. That's the majority of your probably of your existence. That's you never really required much. And those are the men who you give children to. And then all of a sudden when you get a job or you go to school, now you expecting the most from a man. Most of these women out here, you're expecting the most. And then the thing about it is they talk like they're so high on a totem pole when they're really not. You just got a job, and who don't get a car when they get a job? You get a job, you get a car, you get an apartment, right? Isn't that's the norm? They be acting as if they rich, like y'all are millionaires sitting up here and everybody's beneath you. No, you got a job. You got a regular job. You're an average working citizen, I'm sure. And you bought your car, and you got everybody get their income tax and get a car, right? Shit. What's so special about it? I don't understand. You got a job. You just realize that Pookie in the projects didn't offer nothing, and you was with them because y'all didn't have nothing. Now you done level up a little bit and you went got a job and got you a car and got your apartment. And now you got everything. And now you expecting everything. Like you don't need a man. So a lot of these women act and move and they say it, of course, y'all know, I don't need no man, I want one. But you do. Because if you didn't, it wouldn't be such a big deal for a man to come in and have to pay your bills. That wouldn't be your at the top of your, if you got your bills paid, you wouldn't even be thinking about a man coming in to pay your bills. That would be something if he is inclined to do once he's been dating you and he, is really feeling you and y'all got a good vibe or whatever going on. And he decides, you know what, I want to do something nice for her. That's up to his discretion to decide if he wants to do something nice for you. Why are women, that's not something he has to do. I don't care if y'all was dating I don't care how long you was dating. If y'all just dating, y'all don't live together, you're not in a serious relationship, it's not a requirement for them to do that unless you're paying for the sex. Unless you're saying, okay, my coochie is a cost, so pay me up front. Like give me some money. This is what's gonna cost you because you expect me to sleep with you, so this is what I need you to pay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just weird to me. But anyway, this is the day and age that we living in. So everybody is clear about what the expectations are from women and what women expect from men. And you know what I'm saying? It's just how they moving now. And it's why a lot of men will be single and a lot of women will be single because men are saying, hell to no, I'm not paying your bills. And then the thing about it is, listen, we talked about paying for sex. You can go out and do that. You don't necessarily have to have a relationship to get that. So I honestly don't think the men will suffer as much. I think the women will because women depend on men. That's the thing. Women don't want to pay their own bills, even if they have the money. They look for men to do it. They want men to cater to them and do all this stuff for them. And when they're not doing it, they're going to have a hard time. And the women out here who are losing these jobs and are homeless and all that, they really going to have a hard time. I'm just saying. Edward, thank you for the super chat, says, so she'll sleep with Ray Ray, her girl and her dog before me and expect me to be grateful. You overlooked me for 20 plus years. I know you don't like me now. Exactly. Thank you for the super chat, Edward. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for the support. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. See, they're looking for help. They're looking for help. They're not looking for, I don't think a lot of these women are looking for love and this stuff I'm talking about. I think this is going to be an antiquated thought process. They're not looking for love and commitment and real. Child, they're looking for somebody to pay their bills and take care of them. They just go and sleep with whoever, who. Pookie on the corner. Pookie is always going to be there in the cut. So she can go over there and get, knocked down or whatever. And then she's going to have you paying all the bills and all that. Nah, men are smarter. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate you. It's just, it's just what it's turning into. It's unfortunate, but that's just what it is. Classic perspective. Thank you for the super chat. Says, don't let these women fool you all. Majority of these women are in debt. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And they want y'all to pay for it. See? They're running out of credit. They've ran up the credit so much they can't run it no more. And they can't get no new, you got to start paying. You done spent so much of it. Now you got to start paying it back. Now you're running out of options. Now you need a man to come in and I need him to come in. I need him. And they're trying to make it the narrative. You know how they all get together, the hyena bonnet crew all get together and say, girl, let's spin this narrative, girl. Because we think these niggas pay our bills. Girl, my credit cards are they do, girl. I'm they're maxed, and I need some, I can't keep spending because I need to pay it, so now it's time to pay the piper. And now you need a man to come in and help you out. Cause you didn't had a good time. You done took all the trips you could take that you could pay for it. Now men are saying, I'm not paying no more for this because I'm tired of you. They move on to the next or whatever. And now you stuck doing it yourself and they can't keep it up. But it's the truth. They are in debt. Thank you, Classic Perspective. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for the super chat and for the support. Pharaoh, thank you for the super chat. Says they mad because Uncle Sam finished with pay for play, child. They're gonna be mad a hell of a lot. They mad at the stamps going away. They mad at everything. All this stuff is time's up. Now we're gonna really see who the boss chicks are. Pharaoh, thank you, Pharaoh, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, they not, they looking for help, and that's just what it is. All the boss chicks, you ain't gonna see no more. All you seeing is women coming out complaining and getting scared about all these Section 8. They're going to take away a lot of the housing. They're going to take away a lot of the food vouchers. All this stuff you're going to have to really work hard for. And this is why I think, in my opinion, it's going to affect the women more than the men, because a lot of men don't even get that. So a lot of men have not been able to even qualify for a lot of this stuff. Some men have, but the majority of men don't even get that assistance. So they're not losing anything. They were never dependent upon it. A lot of these women were getting these assistance programs for years, been on there for years. The children were babies and now the children are grown and they still on it. There was never any incentive for them to move. These programs were put in place to help you. Which, in my opinion now, and I don't know what y'all think about this, but in my opinion, I think some type of assistance like this should be offered to the middle class of society, if we even still have that now. The middle class of people who work, and maybe if you lost your job or you were falling on hard times, those people should automatically get some type of assistance until they're able to find a new job or, get back on, because they're going to use it the way it should be used. In my opinion, that's just me. Because I think the middle class people you don't make a whole lot, but you don't make enough to qualify for that assistance. And a lot of those people are struggling too. So I just think that's where the assistance should be for the people, the working families who are working and didn't need it, don't qualify, who normally wouldn't qualify for it, but if they become unemployed or whatever, they can get it and to help them until they get back to working, and then they don't need it. But it's given to the bottom, the people who aren't working most of the time, most of them. Some are, but most of them aren't, and they just collecting to doomsday. They don't have no intention of getting a job whatsoever, because they're just sitting there mooching off the system. Children that grew up, got grown, moved out, you still getting it, and then they just go start getting it too. It's just that has to change. I'm just saying that's it's going too far, in my opinion. Successful MD says, DeeDee, I'm on a short layover. Here is a topic for you. Pukatai's black flight attendants with nasty attitudes. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you, child. That's going Pukatai's black flight attendants with nasty attitudes, child. Why they have nasty attitudes? I don't know. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. It's crazy, y'all. Classic Perspective says, in some states, they're now sending the police to people's house for credit card debt. Oh my, child, no. Baby, if they start, that's going to be an issue. That's for everybody. I'm just saying, a lot of people. Gonna be an issue for a lot of people. You don't pay your credit card, baby, and you going to jail, child. That's gonna be that. They ain't gonna be ready for that. I think a lot of people ain't gonna be ready for that, child. Thank you, Classic. That's crazy. What state is that? Child, they ain't gonna be ready for that. Classic Perspective. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Chavez Greener says, some of the ladies are as messy as Diddy party, as a Diddy party. Cat Williams' voice. You got to tell them no. Right, Chavez. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Johnny C says, who would you bet is more financially stable in the U.S., the average girl or the average guy? Who would you bet is more financially stable in the U.S., the average girl or the average guy? I mean, I would say the average guy. I believe it's the average guy. I think women spend way more than men. We just do. We don't, a lot of women don't like to bargain shop. A lot of women don't believe in that anymore. They don't believe in deals and things of that nature. They just want to spend for a lifestyle and a look. With all between the makeup, the weaves, the wigs, the outfits, the shoes, the bags, the expensive cars, all this stuff that now we see more repossessions happening as well. People are losing their cars because they can't pay for them. We're seeing a lot happening. I saw that video of that girl who was saying she paid $2,000 for a car note or something like that. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But you know what? And she said it's a mistake, but she was paying, I think, $2,000 for a car note. I'm like, Lord, it's stuff like that. So To me, I think there are men who spend a lot of money on certain things, but when you compare that to women, women spend way more on things that they don't need, things that they need, all of it. We spend a lot of money. So and I just think men are more simpler when it comes to those things. They don't, they might have a few things that they like that may be on the expensive side, but they're not constantly buying it from what I've seen. And I know it may not be everybody, but it's a lot of them. If you got a nice watch, you'll maybe have that watch and some shoes and things. It's just I think women for sure. Johnny, I think it's women. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Class Perspective says Klarna is going out of business because people aren't paying the money back. What? Are you serious? Oh yeah, and when they put those things in place, that's Klarna. There's some other ones too, and what they do, just spend on it and don't pay it back. Those are like loans, isn't it? And you don't pay it back, so they're just not paying the stuff back, scamming people, all kinds of shit. And so, yeah, of course, because you got to have it. You got to have it. You're trying to please this one, trying to look like you a bad bitch and trying to make it seem like you got all this money when you really don't. And you're just putting yourself in more debt and scamming and stealing from people too. So, yeah, I just think it's a problem. It's really a problem. For real. Thank you, Class Perspective. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Yeah, I just think that, women are really focused on the wrong things. And I think when I talk about relationships between women and men, I'm talking about women and men working together. And that's somehow that's not relevant anymore, I guess. It's all about the men just taking care of you solely, you and your kids and all that. It's never going to work like that. I mean, it's never, not now. I think that ship has sailed. Men know too much now and they're moving accordingly, and women are just stuck in their ways. They just really gonna try to manifest a man who's gonna come in. You see them on these shows. They're all here talking about they're gonna manifest a rich man. They really, it's like a dream, like they're in a la dream world. You know what I mean? Like you're in a fantasy world, fantasy island. You're on this fantasy island and your wish is my command. And you know what I'm saying? Like one day it's gonna be your turn to get this rich man to come and take care of you. It's like they're dreaming, and the clock is ticking, girl. You're getting older, girl. The clock is ticking. Ain't nobody out here trying to do that. I'm just saying, they're not. Chavez, thank you for the super chat. Says some of those ladies are wrestling with Triple H. Ooh, herp, headaches, and hardships. Hashtag bruh. And that too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I think men are just skeptical in general about dating these women. And then on top of that, they're so entitled and they're so, they want all this stuff. And so it's just automatic. I would assume when you meet somebody, the first thing she's talking about is, first off, she looks sketchy. And then on top of that, she's asking for all of these things. That's like an automatic no, like an automatic, like, okay, now hell to the no. I am not subjecting myself to this. So it's like a lot of men aren't even paying them no mind, not even looking their way, not even doing anything. And I think they're complaining, but these men just don't. I think it's like a big running joke now. From what I've seen, I think a lot of dating is a big joke now. A lot of y'all don't even take these women seriously, and they see it and they notice it. But then, and I'm not on the dating scene, but I'm just saying, who would if you asking for all of this and you like, I'm not giving you shit, and these y'all already know y'all not giving it to them. And then if you do give them something, you're like, okay, well, what I'm getting. Like, I think men are more on that trajectory now. They're more like, look, what I'm getting from you. If I ain't getting nothing from you, I ain't giving you shit. Bottom line, all right, kick rocks. I don't need you. Like, it's not these men who don't have nothing, trying to sleep on your couch and trying to get you to take care of them. No, these men, that's what I'm saying. They're used to dealing with the men who didn't have anything. Now you think you're ready to deal with men who don't need you, like men who have their own money and their own place to stay, their own car. And they keep running around like it's something special. As an adult, those are the things that you should have. Like, you got to get around, right? You gotta get back and forth to work, right? You gotta do things. So that's something that is normal to have a car and have an apartment and a job. Like, but they've been so stuck in dealing with the pookies. This is like a level up to them now. Oh, they got a job and they got a car. Now they're like, oh, you can't come with the bare minimum. Isn't that really like the bare minimum though? You know, because to me, a car, a house, or apartment, wherever, a place to stay, and a job is the bare minimum, in my opinion. Now, what wouldn't be the bare minimum if you got like several houses and you have several cars and you have several businesses and you own properties all across the country, and you have, you know, some other stuff that's just extra, then that would be considered extra, in my opinion. Like extra things that is not the bare minimum is a job and a car and a place to stay. But the women are doing the bare minimum and they acting like they're doing something something special. You act like they're doing something special, like because you got a job. I'm like, nah. So now you feel entitled because you got a job and you taking care of yourself. You trying to make it seem like, oh, because the men that you used to deal with, now you big and better than them. Now you don't want to deal with them most time. You think you the hot shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like they the hot shit now because they got a job, I got an apartment, and I got a car. So I'm everything. You know, no, because you still missing. You still be broke. You still broke. And you still looking for somebody to take care of you and pay all the bills. You would think that person would understand more. Look, it's hard. I come from nothing. So you know what? I'm just looking for a man who got what I got, a job. We ain't got to make the same amount of money, but he's consistently working. He go to work every day. He's responsible. He got a place. So that means we can merge together. We can do something because he understands work ethic. He understands building. He understands, you know, working together. We can go somewhere in life together, but they don't see that. Nah, you better come in and give me all your money. Give me your check. Let me pay all my bills with your check. And I ain't paying mine because that's what a man is supposed to do. That's how they talk. It's just stupid. Thank you, Chavez. I appreciate you. It doesn't make any sense, y'all. It is just getting tiresome. It's a running joke now. It's just one big fat joke now. It is. Modern women, they're jokes. It's like, come on now, you're not really trying to do. But I will say, don't be surprised if these women start coming out the woodworks. You know, when they really desperate, they start approaching y'all now. When they really start approaching you, saying, "Hey, I'm willing to work with you. I really want to do something with you because I'm struggling." Like y'all gonna be pushing them away, child. Y'all probably push them away then because it's like, who wants somebody desperate like this at this point? You don't want me. You really need some help, bad, huh? So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I want to play this next clip. I don't know if I played this one, but y'all let me know if y'all saw this already, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Here we go. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. 154 watching and we only have 109 likes. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Here we go.
Is for non-monogamy. You're not supposed to be committed in this stage. You're not supposed to be loyal in this stage. You're not supposed to be prioritizing that person in this stage. Dating is supposed to be non-monogamous. And when you move to the next level and you ask this person for their hand in marriage, that's when you can get their commitment.
Some people are just dumb, okay? And you're gonna have to learn to stop listening to dumb people because they give dumb advice and you become dumb. Unless you want to become this person sitting in your car with a wig on and a turtleneck and auntie arms. Then you listen.
A baby by me or get a train ran on?
Do I get to pick who's running the train?
Yes.
Oh, then probably the train.
Oh, baby, I'm gonna get that train ran on.
Oh, hold on, because this is just nasty. I forgot about that. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Says they want to merge their debt with a man's assets. Exactly. Who got time for that? Who doing that? It ain't worth it. Thank you, Successful MD. Listen to this. Here we go.
I'll get the train.
I give a kid with you, my nigga. I have a kid with you, my nigga.
No offense, but I just like niggas. I like the dick. The dick is. I mean, I'm gonna take the train.
I'll get a train ride on me. From the back, from the front, wherever.
How many niggas?
I'm gonna get that train.
Choo-choo! I get paid. Yes. Choo-choo!
What's the most a guy should spend on a wedding ring?
I definitely want a huge rock, so I'm gonna guess that it probably costs about at least like $500,000. Does it cost that much? Like diamonds?
I would say maybe like
I don't really know, but I would at least hope somebody's spending like 30,000 to 50, right? Like, is that the amount for a ring? Like 30,000 to 50,000,
I'm just asking you what you think.
I think, yeah. I mean, I don't know, like 20 to, I think definitely in a 10,000 range, like 10, 30, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, something and above, like for sure. But not 10. I'd say like 30.
Okay, so 30,000 is the max he should spend on a ring.
The minimum. I mean, I don't know how much rings cost. So
I have no idea, but I'm definitely still going for it at 500K. I want a big ass rock, so I'm guessing it's gonna cost like a lot of money.
For him spending 500K, what does he get from you?
Hopefully I get to be the mother of the kids. I get to live a beautiful dream life, and he supports my career.
A beautiful dream life, and he supports your career. Hopefully the mother of the kids, a dream life, and he supports your career. I really think these young women have been watching too much TV. They've been watching too much Lifetime, too many Tyler Perry movies. They've been watching too much TV, period. That sounds like Tyler Perry movies and Lifetime. Back in the day, I used to watch Lifetime all the time. I used to be pregnant, laying up watching Lifetime. Lifetime movies, child. They out here thinking they gonna get a rich man, have a career, and then give him some babies and all at the same time. You gonna get a rich man. You gonna have a career. And it just doesn't make any sense. They don't get it. They're gonna get it though. In the past, recycling cans was profitable, not boxed. Oh Lord. Thank you, Successful MD. Chavez Greener, thank you for the super chat. Says, bruh, I'm so glad to have my wonderful wife. I know I'd rather drink Flint water and eat chitlins raw. Ooh, okay, before I go out to the dating streets. Jesus. Oh my God. Yeah. Ooh, chitlins. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, I don't know about that chitlins raw though. Chavez. Ugh. Oh God. And Flint water. Ooh, I'd be scared. Thank you for the super chat, Chavez. Jesus Christ. You're really willing to put it all on the line for real. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I'm just like, they don't even understand how much things cost. You don't know what a man would have to make to provide for a family. All these things they don't really understand. They're just out here just speaking and saying like it's a dream world. It's a dream world. In a dream world, in a fantasy world, we all probably wouldn't want to work if we could just if money could just fall down from the sky and we all just be rich. I guess we all would like that. We all don't have to work and money could just fall in our laps and we could just spend it on and do whatever we want, and houses were free and everything was or damn near free, and we have all this extra money and things are so cheap and we could all live like rich people. I guess everybody would want that, but we know that's a fantasy world. That's not real. They speak and talk as if they're in a fantasy world, like this isn't real life. Like you didn't come from money. You watch your parents go to work, or maybe they didn't. You watch your parents go to work and have to, y'all didn't grow up with silver spoons in your mouth. You had to work for everything, and you didn't have everything. Most people didn't have everything just handed to them. Most kids who had siblings, some of them had to wear hand-me-downs. Your older sister can't fit her clothes that are perfectly fine. She passed it down to you, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you live a modest life. Ain't nobody spending all this money, this rich, glorious fantasy life. You didn't grow up like that. So I don't know why they just all of a sudden think that that's what they're going to have. I don't understand it. I don't. Here we go.
And I support him.
For my ring, my cost, I say like 50,000. He definitely will have a loving wife, a loving mother of the kids, a supportive person overall, and uplift careers and everything. So
men have to initiate everything. Why is the thing for dating these days, if a man isn't doing everything, he's not interested in you? A lot of women say that you're not supposed to show your emotions or show that you like a man until he shows it first. Some people say a relationship or dating a man will only work if he's head over heels in love with you first, and then you show him love. Some people say you need to be a mean girl in order for a man to like you. Be mean to him, and then you'll get him, sis. Like, be mean. Like, men like to chase mean girls. Like, men love when you don't like them. So if you love a man, don't say it. Don't show it. Don't act like you love him. Don't show him that you love him. Don't check up on him. Don't text good morning first. Don't do any of that. You just need to be really mean and be stuck up, and then the man will love you, and then the man will fall for you. And then if you are the type of female that shows that affection and that love and that reciprocated energy, you're somehow dumb and you're a pick-me for doing that. And oh, that's the reason why he did you wrong. Are y'all okay? Like, are y'all okay? If I like somebody, I'm gonna show them that I like them. I'm not gonna move heaven and earth for that person when I just met them, but dang. And we're talking for like 2 months and I see he having a rough day, I'm gonna buy him lunch. If I'm out at the store and I see something that I think my man would like, I'm gonna buy it for him and give it to him just because. Like, y'all.
God forbid that you actually be a nice and a good person to somebody that you like. But that's the key word, somebody that you like. That's the part that they're not adding into it. They look at everything as transactional. And it only becomes that way for somebody that they settling for and not the person that they actually care for. The reality is that it's different rules for different people, and women don't have rules for the men that they truly adore and the ones that they like. They're going to go heaven and high water. They're going to drop all of the rules. Ain't no real barriers to entry. Ain't none of that. They're going to chase. They're going to do whatever it is that they got to do to get the thing that they want. But the problem is that nobody cares about anybody anymore. Nobody loves anybody anymore. You got single people keeping people single. Bitter people keeping people bitter and single. And so nobody actually cares about the well-being of other people. And they've been so freaked out. They've had so many different experiences that now the only thing that they care about is transactional relationships because they can't connect with anybody anymore. And the reality is this, the guy that they really want, again, ain't no rules. She gonna be nice. She's gonna put the other guy in her phone as food. And this guy over here, he gonna be able to bust it down for a real one for free. And it ain't gonna be no barrier to entry. So when you see women say stuff like this, it's only because they're trying to create a barrier to entry so that he can qualify himself because they're not really checking for him like that in the first place.
And he has a good point. He has a good point with that. I do agree that a lot of women, you know, the guys that they like, there's no barriers. You know, they have no problem sleeping with them. They have no problem doing things for them because that's who they like. It's the ones that they don't like. When a woman don't like you, she's not willing to do much for you. That's just how it is. That's just what it is. And it's clear. You see the men that the women give children to several times over. Tried to make it work, talking about you gave your all to him and he just messed you over. He was never a relationship type in the first place, but you was attracted to that. So that's who you give the children to, trying to make it work. Then just to turn around, he in jail or he, you know, with somebody else, gonna knock somebody else up. And now you complaining and you mad because he didn't take you seriously, because that's who you really wanted to be with. He didn't level up. He didn't go and do what he was supposed to do to make sure his family was good. He didn't give a shit. And so, and then now these women are looking for men who, as good men, as an afterthought. The good man is an afterthought. He's like, oh, I just need help now. I need somebody. That's why I need so much and require so much from him, because I don't really like him. So in order for me to be with him, he has to make a lot of money. He has to do all these things. Because if he don't, you don't want to give him the time of day. But for the one that you really like, he don't have to have none of that. There are men out here, you know, that we know who have multiple women. And, you know, he ain't giving them nothing. Don't be giving them nothing, but they're attracted to him. So they willing to do whatever it is that he want them to do. They'll do whatever he want them to do because that's how much they like him. If a woman likes you a lot, you don't have to beg for the coochie. You don't have to do none of that. She's going to give it to you. If she's attracted to you, all this, oh, he got to wait and I'm not doing this, that goes out the window when a woman really like you. If she's attracted to you, she will sleep with you. That's just what it is. Women say one thing and do something else. In a lot of cases, they say one thing and do something totally different. It just depends on who they like. Successful MD says qualify for dead weight means be a pookie. Qualify for dead weight means be a pookie. Thank you, Successful MD. Johnny C says that was facts 100. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate both of you guys. Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. We see it happening all the time. And I think you know, as women, we talk a good game. We talk a good game, and you say all this stuff to sound politically correct. But the truth of the matter is, if a woman is not attracted to you, she's not gonna want to sleep with you. And if she's out on a date with you and she don't really find you attractive, she's not gonna want to do anything with you. But if you got what she looking for, and if she attracted to you, and she like your vibe, as they would say, and all that, she wouldn't have no problem sleeping with you. That's just how that's just how women do. But they'll get on social media or anywhere else and say all kinds of other things to make you think otherwise, knowing in fact that a lot of them, they don't move like that. They're just saying that to sound cute. But off of in real life, that's what a lot of women are doing. That's just what they're doing. So I do think it's safe to say, and once again, what I'm saying, it's not be every single case, but a lot of cases it is. If a woman meets a guy that she thinks is lame and he looks a little, quirky or whatever, and she not really feeling him, she not gonna do nothing with him. She's really not. She's gonna she gonna look at him as a lame. She gonna look at him as a lame, and she gonna be sitting there talking to herself, talking about he a lame. Oh my God, she ready to get away from the date. She not trying to go with him. She trying to get away from him. But he don't know that, because a lot of times some of these men are oblivious to the nature of women. They're oblivious to how women think, how women see them. They don't see the red flags, and they just be there oblivious, thinking, oh my God, because she's pretty, or she's so good looking, and oh my God, she's here with me. Yeah, she's sitting there trying to figure you out, but it don't mean that she's like really into you and all that. And that's how you know when the date is over, and then she's like, okay, well, nice to see you. Hopefully we can do this again. And he's sitting there thinking, oh, this is it. Yes, that's it. Because she don't want you. She ain't feeling you. Probably don't even don't even want to go out with you anymore. But if you got money and you looking like you could spend that money on her, she gonna test you out and ask you for something to see if you're gonna give it to her. And if she realizes that you are a simp, or you're head over heels for her, and you'll give her whatever she asking, oh, she gonna hang around a bit because she knows she can finesse you. If you're not willing to give no money and she's not attracted to you, what's the point of her? She gonna go to the nigga she attracted to. Just what it is. South 343, thank you for the super chat, says the men they don't like, they will find a way to benefit from them. Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. That's the nature of a lot of women. Women will fake the funk if they know that they can get something out of you. If you're willing, I'll never forget, and I've seen this happen in real life, but I'll never forget this video where this man was paying this woman's bills, and he would call her, she never would answer. She would never have any time for him, but he was paying her bills, and he called up and said, and left her a message and told her, hey, look, you ain't really been trying to, because I guess he was willing to do that as long as he could have her time, and spend time with her or whatever and get what he wanted out of it. But he wasn't getting what he wanted out of it. So he called her and told her, hey, look, I'm not paying your bills no more. I'm not doing any of that no more because I feel like you using me or whatever. That lady bust that man, left a note, I think, and bust his car windows out and was pissed at him and told him to hell with him. She never really liked him. She was only using him. And she really didn't want to be with him. And if she was with him sexually, is because she realized, oh, I had to do something with him, so he won't realize that I'm just using him. I had to do something. So she felt like, oh, I do something with him, and then I do as little as possible. But as long as he keep paying my bills, that's the main thing. And then, then when he caught on, he was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. She got pissed. And then she gonna move on to the next to play that same game. So yeah, I don't think it's worth it out here in this day and age, baby. It is just a hot mess. This if you ain't met a woman at this point who you can trust, that you've been with for years, that's really there for you and got your back and really care about, it might be a wrap. I'm just saying, because a lot of these, I see too much. It's just give me a swimming in the head. These women are so they out here for the money, y'all. Y'all already know this though. They out for the money. They out for a good time. They out for you to do something for them, and that's it. This real love and commitment and loyalty, that ain't too many women out there with that anymore. I'm just gonna say it, because I just, and if they are, they're being convinced that they shouldn't do that too. That you should be out here for the money. If you ain't found love by now, you need to be out here for the money. So they out here for the money too. So it's just a hot mess. I'm just saying. And if you got a good woman, if you got a good man, hold on to them. I don't care if y'all arguing, if y'all got some differences, but this woman been there with you when you didn't have nothing, and she's there and she's worthy, keep her. And if you got a man that's keep him. Because I don't think this is the time to be walking away from a solid, and I'll say a solid relationship. It might not be as stable as you want it to be, but baby, y'all could work on that. Child, if y'all know each other, y'all been together for years, and y'all having some rocky problems or issues, baby, work that shit out. Because ain't nothing out here in these streets. I'm just saying. It's a bunch of gold digging situationships, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, from what we're seeing, the women who are out here, I mean, they've been ran through. I mean, they got 3 and 4 baby daddies, and they done been ran through. So I don't know even how if you're going to even get anything out of that. Like, what you got? You ain't even got much to choose from, and they're all entitled. I don't care if they have big backs, big stomachs, big everything. They still entitled. They want. With the you might find a fine woman who looks super good. She want and expects the most, and the big back and big stomach is looking for the same thing. So shit. I mean, it's like there's no levels of tier to this anymore. Everybody's a 10 now. Everybody, big back, small back, fine, in shape, look good, big back, big stomach, big sides, big everything is a 10 too. So she want everything too. So you just ain't no wiggle room. Like everybody's a 10, no matter how big, small, what they look like, where they come from. Everybody's a 10. So, and all of them have the same expectations. So it seems difficult. I'm saying thank you once again for the super chat, South 343. It's just a hot mess. Successful MD says they must be in Mars, DeeDee. Must be, because I'm just like, and I try to be optimistic, but Jesus, it's like, oh my God, what I'm saying is foreign. This must be foreign talk, because I should name this channel Foreign Talk, because I don't hear people talk like this. You hear a select small few of individuals who know what, and they're usually married. They're usually married, or they are in committed relationships with somebody that they've been with for years. Other than that, everybody's out here trying to get to the bag, baby, and they want y'all to provide that bag, and they just don't care about nothing else. Just give me the money, give me the money, give me the money. That's it. And I'm like, this is crazy. I'm not surprised it's the way it is. Thank you, Successful MD. All right, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I gotta hit the like button, y'all. We need a few more likes. We had 170 watching, 152 likes. Hit the like button. Let's move on.
Hey, India.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm really on here.
Hi, how are you? How old are you?
I am 28.
Your name is India, right?
Mm-hmm. Just like the country.
Okay. Where you calling me from?
I'm outside of Atlanta.
Outside of Atlanta.
So Kennesaw.
So I just put outside of Atlanta.
Okay.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm an Aries.
Aries. Mm-hmm. What you do for a living?
Mm-hmm. I am a inside account sales manager. And then I also I have a part-time job, and I have a full-time catering business.
Like you did that today. Okay, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hair done, nails done, everything.
I don't want to. I don't come to half step.
Okay. So wait, what's your job again, honey?
So I'm an inside account sales manager for like a large waste disposal company. So those big dumpsters that you see behind like buildings and stuff, I sell and manage those.
So do I just say sales manager? Mm-hmm. Okay. You have any kids?
No.
No kids. Have you ever been married?
No.
Okay. So we got India, 28, Aries, outside. She lives outside Atlanta. Sales manager, no kids, never married. Mm-hmm. All right, boo. What kind of man you looking for?
So somebody who's honest, not a cheater, somebody who actually has some type of value to themselves, someone who works hard, because I work hard, as you can see with the 3+ things that I do. I work really hard. So somebody who's ambitious, who has goals, and you don't have to be at that place yet, but you have to, be moving towards something, if that makes sense.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Men with kids under 3. Bad teeth, bad breath, bad hygiene, somebody who does not have a job or a car or a place to stay.
There we go with that. Damn, they have to specify that. I don't. Oh Lord. I don't know. Maybe it was easier to get a car and a place to stay back in the day, right? It was much cheaper, right? Because I mean, I was around people who had jobs and cars and places to stay. I don't think I ever met too many individuals. I think maybe one who lived with their mama, but the majority of them had jobs, a apartment, a car, bank accounts. Everybody, they must have really dealt with men who didn't have nothing. That shows it. John Tail, thank you for the super chat. Says if you've got someone that's a C plus to B minus overall, you had better treat them like a bull chip. A what? A bull chip athlete on official visits to your university. Child. Oh my Lord. Wait, I don't know if I understand. If you've got someone that's a C plus to B minus overall, you better treat them like a bull chip athlete on the official visits to your university. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, John Taylor. Child, listen. Y'all crazy. I don't know if I fully get that, but I appreciate the super chat. Thank you, John Taylor. I appreciate you. Y'all had me dying laughing when y'all said what did y'all say? She knows she a taste tester. And then what? Wait a minute. Who was that said she that big with no kids? Let me stop because I'm not trying to be mean. Y'all funny as hell. Why? Y'all a mess. Oh my God. That's crazy. Y'all funny. Let's continue.
Yeah, I think those are pretty much the
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
I'm 5'1" and 3/4. So
You're 5'1"?
and 3/4, yeah.
Okay.
So essentially maybe like 5'8" and up, but of course it's black men. I dabbled into the Caucasian when I first started dating back.
Oh, okay. Oh, John Taylor says, blue chip treatment. Treat them special. Gotcha. Thank you, John Taylor. I appreciate you. Gotcha.
Like when I was like 20, and it's not my stilo anymore. So just black men, taller than me, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
So I have recently hit 120K a year. So at least 75.
At least 75. Okay, so you're dating a man that makes less than you. Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay.
Come in. I gotta get my window fixed while we're doing this. Okay. All right, we'll see you. Ooh, child. All right,
Yeah, I love
come
one.
in. Okay, we see you, girl.
I know I look top heavy. It's all
India.
proportioned.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Come in. I have to get my window closed because I can't close it. So I keep saying come in. They should have a key. Let me finish with you. All right, India, you're 28. What's the age range you would date?
27 to 38, 39.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
July.
You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When was the last time you was intimate with someone?
I am going to decline to answer.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Being more open. I have, and then when I'm upset, I'm just like quiet. I don't sometimes express how I feel in that moment. And so I'll let stuff build up and then I will let it all pour out and like a vomit. So and then I'll be like, then you remember what happened last week? And then it'll all come out at that point. So I got to start working on being more open.
Hey, Brienne, how you been? How's the baby? How are you? Good to see you.
I apologize. Give me 1 second. I've been
Take your
telling them
time.
to come in. They obviously can't hear me. Give me 1 second. I apologize. Hello, I said come in.
I can't even see the comments, but I hope y'all not saying nothing bad.
If you just go close in the guest bedroom.
I'll go back and look at the comments, y'all.
Right there? Yes. Thank you so much. I apologize.
Oh,
I
you're good.
apologize. Okay, let's take it from the top. What are your 3 flaws again?
So just communicating better when I'm upset. I'm really giving. I need to learn how to, ask instead of just spewing out and giving. Because that's a bad trait of mine. And let's see. I'm good at texting back, but I don't like texting. I'm more of a FaceTime caller type of person. So I just gotta learn how to like text back more. I
Okay.
guess those are bad. Those are my
Okay.
3 flaws.
And you're 28. What's the age range you want to date?
Yeah, between 27 and 39.
Okay.
Mhm.
Could he have kids?
Yes,
Yes. Do you want kids yourself?
absolutely.
Should he
I just
be in
don't.
the
I don't want to be a
Atlanta?
baby mama.
Oh, I missed it. Say it again.
I said I just don't want to be a baby mama. I'd rather be married. I don't want to be any. Out here, they think it's cute to be somebody's baby mama and baby daddy. I don't want to be nobody's baby mama, baby daddy. I'd rather be a wife and a mother to somebody's child. So that's the reason why I don't have any kids yet.
I ain't mad at that now. India, you got a point right there, India. Now I'm with you on that, honey. I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a few other things you could work on, Miss India. She seems like a nice woman, I will say. You know, because some of them really be just entitled and nasty. She seems very nice. I will give her that. You could look at somebody. Sometimes your personality could, maybe win somebody over. I don't know if it could win this crowd over, but but sometimes when you have a good personality, that could take you far. Maybe it might be a man who sees some quality in her or, like something about her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And hopefully she can find what she's looking for. I wish the best for everybody. Even though, it's not always, it could be difficult, but it's not impossible. I always say it's not impossible. There might be somebody out there who see quality in her and want to, because she don't seem as like mean and standoffish and stuff like some of them, So I'll give her that. Let's continue.
Okay. Should he be outside the Atlanta area?
Preferably, yeah.
Okay. All right, honey. Why would a guy be lucky? Oh, did I ask you the last relationship?
Mhm.
I did, right?
Mhm.
Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Because I have my shit together. I'm very established, very well spoken, very mannerable. Parents love me. Um, I have a good attitude. I love to cook. I love to clean. I love to cater to my man. Um, just looking for somebody who's worthy of all those things. Looking for a leader for me to be able to submit rather than me having to be the pants in a relationship. So I just feel like I have all the great qualities of a wife, and I'm wanting to be able to actually put that into fruition.
Classic perspective. Thank you for the super chat. Says, good job, lady. Don't be a baby mother. However, should I answer a FaceTime call if I'm doing a number 2? No, don't do it. No. Oh my God. Y'all a trip. You're a trip. Thank you for the super chat. No, don't do that. I mean, hell, nah. Anyway, thank you. Successful class perspective. Thank you. Jantel says, not my cup of tea, but a man in his 50s, maybe. Why 50s? You done skipped the 30s, the 40s, 50s, Jantel. Thank you for the super chat, child. Y'all a trip. A 50-year-old older dude, right? Might be them shit. The 50-year-olds don't. They got some good looking 50-year-olds, and they in shape and everything. I don't know if that's gonna be their cup of tea too. I mean, hell, their 50-year-old men are looking good out here. They ain't. You know what I'm saying? They look better than some of these younger men. So I don't know if that'll be their cup of tea as well. Successful MD says they love to do all good until after marriage. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. And the funny thing about it too, I always question when these women say they want a leader. I don't think me and my husband was talking about this yesterday. About women who say they want to always, I want a leader. You want a man. A lot of these women, when they say that, they just want a man to take care of everything. Women, they claim that they're so tired. They don't want to do anything. They want a man to take care of all the responsibilities. They want him to lead in every aspect of the relationship. They want him to like read their minds, know what they want, and act act up on it, jump up on it. That's what they want. They want you to be like this mind reader, this person who jumps to make sure everything is perfect for her at all times. Like, you have to be a mind reader. You have to know what she like, what she don't. You got to have it there waiting for her. They want you to treat them like you're some type of like servant. This is what I think when women say they want a leader, that's what they want. They want you to have it all figured out. They want you to take care of everything. You know, and that is one thing. You got a man who's going to make sure you good and handle business and handle the responsibilities that needs to be handled. He's, you know, doing what he need to do as the man of the house. But I think a lot of these women want a person who's going to cater to them. That's what I think. When they say a leader, they want a caterer. They want you to think of everything, be, you know, like I say, read their minds, and also be, I don't know, you gotta like just be creative. You gotta think of everything. You gotta handle all your business, all your bills, handle all her stuff. Be thoughtful all the time. Be creative. Be a mind reader. Be all these things. Take care of every little thing, any little thing. You got to be on it. You got to go out and work now. Now you got to be that for her, and you got to go out and work. You got to go out and handle business with your job, business, or whatever it is. She has no part in that. So just think about that. You got to be all this to this woman. Like, you got to be 10 steps ahead to think about her for every little thing, and do your job, focus on your work, build your brand, whatever it is you got to, as a man, you got to do all that too. You got to make sure she good at the house. You got to make sure she's catered to at the house. They really want you to treat them like you got to be a servant to her. You got to give her everything. She pamper her. She don't want to work, don't want to pay no bills. Cause as a man, you supposed to do all that. I think these women are fucking delusional. God, excuse me, y'all. Excuse my language. They are delusional. You're not a person. It's like they don't see you as a person. They see you as a tool. You're somebody there to just give her the world and more. They don't see what it takes for you to be you. They don't know what it takes for men to be a man, to be men. They've never walked a day in your shoes. They never experienced what you had to experience. And you could tell, because they just think you're supposed to pull all of this out of your backside and just be able to do all this while go work and pay all the bills and maintain like it, and they could just sit back like a passenger princess and do nothing and just expect everything from you. That is unrealistic. And why would you want your man to do all that? You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to have to work that hard? These men be stressed out, especially the ones who are trying to maintain this lifestyle for these women and do everything that they want to keep them happy 24/7. That's not going to last. They're going to get tired. They're going to get tired. It's because that's not how it's supposed to be. Chantel says, I can read her mind. Honey, you hungry. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I'm tired. This dollar gotta be a girl. I know the feeling, Rianne. I know the feeling. And then somebody saying still get cheated on. Her name even speak volumes. Singleton. Yeah, you know, it's just I think these women are not thinking. Thank you, Jazz. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for subbing. I appreciate you for being here. Yeah, a cash machine. Yeah, they just look at you as somebody to serve them and pay for them and do everything for them. And that's it. They don't. You're not a human being. You're a provider. You're just an ATM. You know what I mean? You got to be there to meet their every need, and they could just sit back and, you know, a lot of times they don't even like you, so they're not trying to do. Because to me, I feel like a woman that likes you and really she's not going to want you to do that. She's gonna want to alleviate some of that. You know how they say the women, we're supposed to be the helpmate or the helpmeet. You want to help. You know, you want to do and a lot of men who are strong and you know, who used to doing things for themselves and by themselves, a lot of times they don't even want you to like do certain things. They don't. That's just because they know that's part of. But as the woman, you want to alleviate some of the stress off of your man. You want to kind of like give him, you know, like what they talk about, that soft place to land. Like, hey, I don't want you doing that. You don't have to work as hard. We good. Like, no, these gold diggers, they don't care how hard you work. You can work your fingers to the bone. They don't care. As long as the checks, the bills, the lifestyle, the trips, all that keeps on coming through. They don't give a damn how you pay for it. They don't care how your mental stress. They don't care about none of that. You just a walking ATM that's there to serve them, and that's it. And the minute you can't do that, they out, and they tell you. They tell you. So it's just, it's when I hear women who say they want a man to lead, I just don't think they mean that. I don't think they mean it. Baby Funk 1975 says, if I'm Chris Rock, I'd be nervous right now. If I'm Chris Rock, I'd be nervous right now. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
Okay, let's do it. She's ready to be a wife. Wait, you are young. How old are you, sweetheart?
I'm 24.
20. Okay, you old enough. Young, you want me to call you Young?
You can call me YND.
YND is your name?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a content creator, so I go by YND.
Okay, YND, you're 24. Where you calling me from, babe?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio. How old are you?
24 years old.
24. What do you do for a living?
I'm a technical recruiter, but the main things I really do is content creation. So I'm a dating coach on YouTube.
Okay, so you're a dating coach. So are you here to find somebody? Because I'm not here to help you promote.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here to find somebody. It's not for promotion.
So if you're a dating coach, I would assume you would already have people, no?
It's easy to find. Yeah, it's easy to find women. Very easy to find women. It's just the type of woman I'm looking for. That's where it's kind of difficult with the lifestyle of being a content creator and filming and stuff like that.
So what do you do as a dating coach then?
What do you mean?
Exactly what I asked. What do you do as a dating coach?
I'm teaching guys how to date.
Oh, you're teaching men. You're teaching the men. Okay,
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, I done took over kind of like the red pill type of stuff. I'm not red pill, but I done kind of took over like the dating scene, basically. So I'm teaching guys how to date successfully because it's easy for me in a lot of regards. But when it comes to like finding a specific type of woman that I'm looking for, when it comes to, because right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build with somebody when it comes to content creation. So I'm kind of looking for somebody that's on the same page as me, like into content, filming. And that's what gets real difficult because a lot of women, they just don't understand that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to be clear. You're not here for promotion. You're here to truly find somebody.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So YND 24, Cincinnati, Ohio. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Leo.
Leo. Do you have any kids?
No.
No kids. And I'm assuming you've never been married, right?
No, I've been married.
Oh, you have been married. When did you get divorced?
2023, so a year ago and some change.
How long was you married for?
It was about 3 years, so I like to say 2.5 to 3 years running.
So you got married at what, 21?
No, I was 20.
Okay. You have no kids, correct?
No kids.
So why'd you get married so early?
I just thought it was right, at the time. You just do what you think is right.
So why'd you get divorced?
Didn't see eye to eye on some things. I like to do things my way, and her family was like overly involved, and I had some family members I was trying to be overly involved as well. So, it just, I can't be controlled. So I was like, I don't like ultimatums and things like that. So I said, yeah, we're done with this.
Okay. You got some paid questions, child. Dehande said, you still got Similac on your lips. How the hell are you going to teach someone how to date?
That's a real question?
That's a real question.
Oh, man. Look, whoever that is, tell your girl to hit me up and I'll show you.
Tell his girl to hit you up?
Yeah, whatever girl he crushing on, he could tell her to hit me up and I'll show him how I can teach him how to date.
Okay. So whatever girl you want, he said, send her his way.
Yeah.
And he will tell you.
And I'll show him how it's done.
Okay. All right. Well, let me get more into your business. Why?
Well, hey, Nicole, what's going on? How are you? Nicole Lovely, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. So what do y'all think about him so far? Because, he's young. And, and I'm not saying that you can have, he's been married young, so you can have that experience, but what did you learn from it? Did you learn anything from it? Sometimes I think, your experience can push you either one way or the other. You know what I mean? But it's your experience. And sometimes, sometimes men get messed over by their first love or whatever, and then it brings them all the way over to the red pill, like, oh, to hell, and they hate women, or the MGTOW or MGTOW, whatever you call it. Sometimes your experiences shape you to be all the way to the right or all the way to the left. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can be hurt by a woman that you really loved, or a woman can be hurt by a man that she really loved. And it just turns you sour. It turns you bitter. And you be like, hell, I'm out here. I'm going to mess up. I'm going in, and I'm going to find women to just mess over. I'm going to find a man. And sometimes it take you the other way. Like, so I don't know, so I think everybody's experiences either teaches you a lesson and you learn it, or it teaches you something and causes you to react, based on the outcome of it. Whether that's, what I think is good or bad. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's the case here, but let's continue.
Andy, 24, Cincinnati, Ohio, is a Leo, no kids, was once married, is an online creator and a dating coach. What kind of woman are you looking for?
Ooh, it's a long list. I'll say, just to start, keep it simple, I'll say submissive and cooperative. That's like the big thing.
So you're not finding that along your dating journey?
I find it in different aspects, but not exactly with what I'm looking for, with what my lifestyle brings, which is different than a lot of people, right, doing this like content stuff and, filming. So, yeah.
Thank you, Chuck 1823. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you.
Because you want her to be submissive, cooperative, and also a business partner. Like, you want your relationship to be, like, you want an internet relationship, basically?
Somewhat, yeah, somewhat. And at the very least, I'm open to different, versions. But I'll say this: she at least got to be okay with what I do. So what I found basically was, before I was a dating coach, dating was easy. Once I became one, and then I'm telling women that, and they see what I do, and then on my channel, like, I bring girls on there. That's where the problem comes in. A lot of women have a hard time separating the business aspect of what I do from real life. You get what I'm saying? So that's like the main problem.
I want to jump in because some people are saying I never claim to be a dating coach. So just FYI, I don't claim to be a dating coach. I don't claim to be a dating expert or relationship expert. I have said this 10,000 times on my show. I'm a journalist that created a dating show to allow people. Now, I've been doing my show for almost 5 years. So after talking to more than 10,000 people for 5 years, you can share data and information. I do that at times, but I don't claim to be a dating coach for those that are trying to say that's what I do. No, I give single people an opportunity to come on my platform to expose themselves to the World Wide Web of the people that follow me, and a chance for them to meet a somebody. Will I give feedback at times? Absolutely. Because like I just said, you hear so much in the 5 years of hosting this show. So let's be clear. Now back to you. Okay, I just wanted to add that in there. All right, so what are your deal breakers?
On cooperation, if you crazy, too many mental health issues.
What are some? Give me some examples of crazy girls you've run into.
Yeah, so like for me, like after I lay it down, a lot of times, like not a lot of times, but sometimes, like some of the girls, like they done popped up at my house, like unexpected. That's like crazy. Calling my mama, calling family members and stuff. That's, what I'm saying, like that stuff. Nah, that's crazy. Can't be like that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of my cousins, that's my followers, they think that you're clout chasing and just trying to promote.
I believe everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I can see why they would think that.
But that's not the truth.
No, it's not.
Okay. Should the girl look a certain way?
Yeah, for sure. I'm big on. I like thick women. Like the last woman that was on here, I like how she looked, but it ain't got to be just like that. I'm kind of open. My predominant preference, I would say, is black women for sure.
Okay.
So he liked the big girl that we just saw. I mean, I know. Everybody has a preference. I'm just saying. So he see like big girls. Oh, okay, all right. All right.
I'm about 6 feet, so it kind of don't matter most of the time, like the women's height. I do prefer natural looks though, like natural hair and stuff. That's really the main thing. Straight teeth, you got straight teeth. I love fingernails, like getting your nails done like the right way. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. That's like the main stuff.
So real quick, I'm just curious. What do you teach the men? Can you say you teach men how to date? So what are the issues that you're finding that men have when it comes to dating?
A lot of guys, I mean, a lot of guys is just down bad. I mean, they have a hard time dealing with women's like flakiness. So a lot of women like they cancel on dates. A lot of women just use guys for attention and free dates. If they do go, then they don't.
Wait, are they telling me you're recording? Are you recording?
No.
Okay. All right, continue.
Yeah, and then a lot of women just have a lot of options compared to most men, not me, but a lot of men. So then it's like the women usually have a hard time, like, it's this new guy popping up every day. It's a new guy, you know what I'm saying, through dating apps, through social media. So that's usually the problem that a lot of guys are dealing with. It's like they can't get a girl to be consistent with them. That's usually like the biggest issue.
Someone made a good point. Do you want the girl that you're trying to date to call you Y and D?
Nah.
Then then you should be giving me the name that you want the girl to date you by. Like, because you're looking for a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So shouldn't she call you by your name?
Yeah, I mean, my name is D. Like, that's my name, D.
Okay, so I'll call you D. Okay, so one thing, I was just curious to know how it works. So you're saying men are having a hard time with women being flaky?
Yeah.
So I just want to know a lesson. How do you teach them what is your method of fixing that for these guys?
A lot of guys, so it's two things. A lot of guys, the women are flaky because they're not direct and concise with what they want from the girl, like what they're actually looking for. So that's number one. I try to teach guys to be more direct and concise with their plans and what they're actually looking for with that woman. And then the other thing is just playing a numbers game more. Like a lot of guys are lazy, you know what I'm saying? So they just want to approach like 5 girls. And then when one flake, they want to kind of complain about it. You know what I'm saying? When really no matter who you are, you got to talk to a lot more women than that. You know what I'm saying? To really get something set. So teaching guys to play the numbers game, getting over their fear of rejection, just going out here shooting their shot a lot, just teaching them how to build confidence, stuff like that. And then the other side is being more concise with your words. Like I'm big on having a good mouthpiece and stuff like this, articulation and things.
All right, what do y'all think about him so far? What do y'all? I think when he's 24, he's talking a lot. Okay, so he's saying he tried to, a lot of men don't know how to approach or whatever. So he's teaching men how to do that. So I guess, he's mastered it, I guess. And he's teaching men how to, approach and do things like that. I want to get to the meat and the potatoes of this because it seems kind of long, but there's some other parts I want to get to, but we're gonna try to go through it, y'all. I know it's a lot, but there's some things that he said in here that kind of, caught my attention, but we got to get to it. Make sure y'all hit the like button. What do y'all think about what he's saying so far? And the fact that he's 24, do you think that he has enough experience to be able to give that type of advice? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Johnny C, thank you for the super chat, says, making me mad. He's too young. Okay. Right. And I it's like, I'm going to hear you out, but what are you learning and what advice are you giving? Because, it matters. You know what I mean? Thank you, Johnny C. I appreciate the super chat. Let's continue, y'all.
Okay, got you. All right. So the last question I have for you was, should she look a certain way? Should she make a certain amount of money?
Nah, she just gotta have something going on. I don't, a lot of guys, they'll be like, I don't care what women is doing. I do. You gotta have something going on. You know what I'm saying, in your life. Like you gotta have some sort of education or working some sort of job, some sort of goals. I don't really care how much you actually making because I already make enough as is, and we can grow and build from that. But you got to be doing something. That's a red flag. You ain't got nothing going on.
Okay. Could she have kids?
For a relationship?
That's what you're looking for, right?
Okay, I'll just make it sure because you know I can dibble and dabble, but nah, no kids, no kids.
So are you saying that you would date a girl that has kids, but you wouldn't make her? You want to grow into a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you looking for? Are you looking to date? Or are you looking for a relationship?
No, I'm here because I'm looking for. I already date. I got a date after this. I'm looking for a relationship. That's why I
You're
got
going
it.
on a date after you're done talking to me?
Yeah.
So you're trying to recruit more women to date.
Yeah, because like I told you, the biggest problem that I get now that I'm a content creator and I've been doing this for a year, the biggest problem is when I tell women this and they see it, so they start playing games, like they try to like outmaneuver me or something because I'm a dating coach, or they feel weird because some of my content I bring women on there and they have a hard time separating, you see what I'm saying, like the business from what's real. Like they think I actually want those girls because of that, or they just think too deep about everything. That's what I'm saying.
So
Instead
the
of just
girl you're going
focusing
on a
on me.
date with, this gonna be the first date, or have y'all been on a date before?
This is the first date.
This is the first date. So you're preparing. So you want to find another girl just in case she decides she can't handle you.
Yeah, you gotta play the numbers game. Well, I'd be boo boo the fool if I just went out with one
Do
girl
you
at a
think
time.
women should date like this?
Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's do the Kendra cam.
What that is? I'm sorry.
That's when you stand up and we see your full body.
Okay.
They're telling me that you're streaming. You said you're not streaming right now?
I'm not streaming nothing, Kendra. This is my first time ever being here.
Okay, all right. Okay, I gotta take. They're telling me you're streaming, but I'm gonna take your word. All
I'm
right.
not streaming.
So D24, what's the age range you want to date?
I'll say 18 to 35.
Well, you gotta say 21 is the youngest you could be on my show and say.
Okay, I got you. 21 to 35.
21 to 35. All right. When was your last relationship?
The marriage. So 2023, June.
Okay. You don't have.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a assume. I don't know that maybe that lady he was married to kind of messed him up because he haven't really been in a serious relationship since the marriage. So he's out here just dating and probably screwing different women. So typically that's what happens when you've been hurt. And I'm assuming, I don't know if this young man has been hurt, but usually when you've been hurt from the person that you really cared about, and I'm assuming he had to care about the woman who he married enough to want to marry her. Maybe she hurt him and then he turned into this red pill guru, like hell with it. I'm just going to sleep with whoever. I'm not going to take it too seriously. And now he's looking for something serious now after all that time. That's typically how that goes. Johnny C, thank you for the super chat. Says sorry if I'm wild and chat. No, it's all right. It's all right. You all right. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Yeah, usually when you've been hurt, and women and men do this, you go out and you just like hell with it, F it. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm not taking nobody serious. I'm gonna do what I want, and you do what you do. And that's what it sounds like to me. Scorpion Chris says he's 24. He's qualified to counsel prom dates. I heard that. Right. You know what I mean? And he's been married, and that seems like that's been the main serious relationship that he's ever been in. And now he's just out here just, doing whatever. Thank you, Scorpion Chris, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Child, let's continue.
The answer, but I'm gonna ask, when's the last time you was intimate with someone?
What's today? Saturday. Thursday.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So did you spend the whole day with her, or you just had sex with her?
The latter.
So, and if she's not the girl you're going on a date with tonight?
Nah, the girl I'm going on a date with tonight is the first day. I just met her.
So what's wrong with the girl you had sex with on Thanksgiving?
Nothing wrong with her. She just got to go through the vetting process. I mean, it's just the beginning. That was the first time.
Ooh, child, you're the dating coach. So this is how you're telling men how to date.
Yeah, you got to play the numbers game. I would tell women the same thing.
I would just ask this:
but you would so tell women to go out and date the way he's dating. That means they're going to be promiscuous. This now y'all let me know, because this is the only thing that I have that I feel like is like a that could be a problem with women. When men say, on one hand, there are men, y'all let me know what y'all think. Please chime in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts. Also hit the like button if you haven't already. And also if you want to support the channel, super chat, at least $5 super chat, support the channel. The conflicting thing I do have though, when it comes to men saying, talking about ran through women, right? Ran through women and women who are promiscuous and just giving it to anybody. Then when it comes, that's on one side that men complain about. You don't want a ran through woman. You don't want a 304. But then on the flip side, when she's dating, if she's not putting out and she's not doing that and she's not a promiscuous woman, then it's a problem for some men in that area too. Oh, she don't want to give me no sex, so I can't really fool with her or whatever. But what if, so how do you expect to get these pristine women who are not 304s if men are requiring women to have sex with them every time they go out with them or date them? Then you're going to have nothing but 304s. So that shouldn't be a problem if you look at it from that standpoint. It should be okay because y'all want them to sleep with you. But then at the same time, if they don't sleep with you, then that's a problem too for some men. Y'all please let me know that because I'm confused about that. Please chime in. Let's continue.
How are you ever gonna be focused, give a person enough time to see if they're worth your attention? Because I feel like with this type of dating, if you always feel like right now you have a date after the show, you haven't gone on this date yet, but you're already preparing yourself to meet somebody after her. So it's like, to me, it seems like you're gonna forever, if one girl does something that you don't like, you're just gonna move on to the next. And I think long-term relationships that I have talked to, they stick around and they go through shit together. It's not always sweet. All the people that you see married in long-term relationships is them sticking around when the going gets tough. And to me, it seems like for you, you're not trying to stick around with anything. Like, you was with a girl on Thursday, you got a new date 2 days later, and now you're on the worldwide dating show looking for more women to put in queue. So I don't think if somebody wants something serious, you would be the guy to date because you're already proven that you're going to keep it moving before you even meet her.
No, I disagree. I just got a different vetting process than most of the population.
But you're not, and that's fair, but you're not even giving a woman a week of your attention, right? You're not giving, which is short in itself. But if you're not willing to give one woman a certain amount of time of your undivided attention, and you're just, I can see if you didn't like this person, and that's one thing, right? But to me, your pattern shows that as soon as a woman does something that you don't like, you're just gonna move on to another woman.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If a woman wanted something, I think my observation, if a woman wants to date and just nothing serious.
But I mean, with that, women do the same thing. Women do the same thing. Now with that part where she's like, oh well, if you're dating and if a woman does something that you don't like, you just don't like it, you have the right to say, oh hell no, I don't want to deal with that no more. You can do that. I think this is what women, I think when men speak on it, it seems odd because men are looked at as the ones who's supposed to run behind the women and chase them, and you're not supposed to give up. But the women have all the freedom in the world to just walk away. They always say, if it doesn't serve me, they can wake up one day and decide I want a divorce. If you are married, you just walk away and it's all good. You could just wake up and have a feeling that this something ain't right, and you could just break your whole family apart, and that's acceptable. But if a man does it, it's like, oh my God, he's the worst thing ever. But women make these decisions all the time. They walk away from their marriages because of they felt like they had a problem, and they do it all the time. So why? That's all another thing too. When a man says, look, she's doing something I don't like, okay, I'm moving on. We dating. We ain't really solidified a relationship yet. We just dating. So if she does something and I see I just don't like, why can't he have the options to say, nah, I just don't want to deal with that? I can't tell anybody what their deal breaker should be or shouldn't be. Yes, for you to determine. And if you know it's something you just can't deal with, I'd rather you keep it moving than waste that person's time or waste your time, and or try to forge a relationship with a person that you know is not going to work based on things that you already see you don't like. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. Scorpion Chris, thank you for the super chat. Says, step 1, open mouth. Step 2, insert foot. Step 3, shut your mouth, son. Oh, Lord. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, Scorpion Chris. I appreciate you. Yes, Lord. Let's continue.
You're the guy for her. They have a good time. I think you're attractive. But if she wants something serious, you're not the guy.
No, I disagree. I'm both guys, and I can tell you why. So one, the one. So for me, this is how I move. I'll just tell you straight up. Women have to earn the right for me to even care about being like, compassionate outside of normal human decency. So I'll treat anybody with respect, right? But for you to get to a place to where you can do something to me that's actually messing up my life or my livelihood, and it's a riff or like a bump in the road, and then I'm like, okay, we're gonna work through this. That ain't coming in the first 2-3 months. The first 3 months, that's a probationary period, just like a job. I run my stuff just like I do with my job with recruiting and sales. First 90 days, if there's any issues in that, you're gone. I only deal with girls. It got to be 100% cooperation from the jump. If it ain't that, then you gone.
Classic Perspectives, thank you for the super chat, says, I agree with him. He doesn't have any kids, and I'm hoping he's protecting himself responsibly. And if they don't like it, move on. I'm not mad at him. Exactly. I agree with that. Thank you, Classic Perspective, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, I agree with that. Women, a lot of women have the same standards. Oh, if he does something that I don't like, they're just out, no matter how big or how small it is. Now, me, I'm one like, if it's something small, if it's something that's not, life altering or nothing like that, I could give you a little grace. You know what I'm saying? If I like you and we look like we moving in the right direction. If you do something, people make mistakes depending on what the mistakes you're making. If they're, like I said, life altering mistakes, then you constantly keep doing it, then that, to me, that's like you're not responsible or you got something else going on. But if it's little things, there's certain things that I would say you can give a great grace to a person, because I know I'm not perfect. Somebody might look at me and be like, oh, she did that. And if it's something that's minuscule, I would be like, hey, I want a little grace too. I'm not perfect. So I'm not perfect and you're not either. But when it comes to the bigger picture, we got our heads on straight. That's what matters to me. And I don't think you should just dismiss a person off little small things that could easily be worked out. Because when you're in a relationship, you're gonna have to work out some things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's continue.
Well, you date
this too before we move on. It's up to you. You have the right as a man or woman to decide what you want to take, what you don't. That's up to you. That's up to you. That's nobody else has the right to tell you what you should and should accept. That's up to you. Let's continue.
Like you're the prize.
That's like a abstract concept. People can argue.
Because let me say this too. You also, it's one thing if you're dating this way, but I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong or not. Do you require these women to have sex with you during this non-committed relationship process?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. They wouldn't even be around for 90 days if they don't do that.
That's stupid. This is really dumb. Any girl that does that with you is stupid. She's going to agree to have sex with you. So that means she's basically auditioning. That's dumb. It's dumb because the whole point is this. And men say it time and time again. Whenever a woman comes on my show, and here's the deal. I have conversations with husbands, and then I have conversations with men like you. And there's no judgment. But what I've come to terms is husbands, they value their wives. They look at their wives as, and I'm thinking of like 5 different men who have been married. And of course, life ain't perfect. So they've gone through things. But they look at their wives as a piece of their life that if she left, they couldn't imagine, right? They're like, she fits a puzzle that no other woman can fit in their lives. Then there's men like you who I think you aesthetically have the attractiveness. You tall, you have the height in your favor, who date as in you got to be the woman to catch me. You got to lock me down. You just said if the girl's not your girl and she's not having sex with you, why would a girl have sex with you if she's not your girl? Like, that should be a requirement off the jump if she wants a relationship.
There are a lot of women who have sex with men who are not their man. I'm just saying. A lot of these women are having sex with men they're just dating. A lot of them. That's why it's easy, and on one hand, you're like, okay, I'm like, okay, that's what you require, but it's easy to get. Once again, it goes back to if the woman is attracted to him, then she's going to have sex with him. So these women, if they're attracted to him, they don't have a problem. They don't have a problem. On one hand, you be like, yeah, they're stupid. Yeah, but that's how it go. If these women are attracted to him, if he meeting women that's attracted, they gonna sleep with him. That's why he could require that, because he don't have that problem. If he's being honest, he doesn't have that problem. So the women that he's meeting, they don't have a problem sleeping with him. He's saying it's a requirement, and they like, okay, Okay. They're not pushing back. They okay with doing it. They're not thinking deeply into it, like maybe I would or Kendra would think deeply into it. No, but because it's the truth. You meeting somebody that you're dating and you attract to them, you want to have sex with them too. It's that simple. It's not always just the men preying on the women. These women want sex just as much as the men. And if they're attracted to you, they're ready to go. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Well, one, I'll say this: they do it all the time, and then the second thing I'll say is that most of the dudes you probably thinking about is weak men. So I don't know no man.
Pause. These are very successful men that also. I'm happy you said that. They're actually very successful. A lot of them have a lot of money, and that's one of the reasons. Hold on, pause. That's one of the reasons why they don't, because they have so much to lose. See, a lot of you guys don't got shit to lose. So that's why you be around here with so many different women, because you're not worried about losing your business or losing your reputation. These are men that have way more money than you. Not trying to be funny, but you call them weak. So let me just break them down. They have way too much to lose to be sleeping with different women every single night that can come back and blow up their whole entire shop. So I mean, listen, if you're the one thing that's in your favor is you're honest. So I respect that. Any woman that signs up with you knows what she's getting into. But these are not weak men. They're actually very strong, successful men that have a lot of money in the bank.
Well, I don't, and Kendra, I say this respectfully. I enjoy this dialogue, by the way. So same respect you giving me, I'm giving it to you. I don't care how much money they make. So money don't make a man, strong or weak. So it's more about the mindset. So I'm saying the fact that you saying that the way that they would talk about their women is they can't live without them, like it's some sort of Michael Bolton tune or something that they living out every day. That's not what a man would do. See, I know I could live without any woman. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem for me, just hearing that. I don't care how much money they make. To me, that little rhetoric of like you make a certain amount of money, like I'm a 6-figure earner. I've been making 6 figures since I was 21. That doesn't validate me or make me feel any better. That's just what I make. You see what I'm saying?
Listen, at the end of the day.
Ooh. Okay. Now. See, this is what I'm saying. Listen, he got a point there. Y'all know how I feel. If y'all been watching me for a minute, y'all know how I feel about that. I don't believe money is the end all be all. We need it. We all need it. Now, I'm not even BSing. I'm not capping. We need money. The more money you make, the better lifestyle you can have. Okay. Because shit costs money. So I'm not saying you don't need to make the money. Yeah, we need to make money. But what I'm saying is, I don't think money, to me, in my opinion, money is not the end all be all to a great man. I don't look at it like that. And I think a lot of people do, though. A lot of people judge you based on your amount of the money that you make. And I just don't do that. There's more to a person than just your money. You can have all the money. I know a lot of people with a lot of money and they ain't shit. So, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people run behind people and clout chase people behind their money and stuff. And then when you get to know them, you realize they really ain't shit. They just have money and they're entitled, and that's it. You ain't really not a good person. Nobody wants to be around you because you're full of shit. You know what I'm saying? So money doesn't make you a better human being. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It may give you some access to some things and whatever. Yeah, of course. But who you are as a person. And do people, you find that people only want to be around you because of your money. And they talk shit about you when they leave. Because they're like, they can't stand you because you ain't shit for real as a person, but you got the money. So they got to deal with you because they're trying to get something out of you. That's it. That's what it becomes. So I don't believe in, oh, you're so great because you got money. No, not at all. Classic Perspective. Thank you for the super chat. Says Kendra is delusional. These women are humping more than you hear the song. Humpty Hump. They are. Thank you for the super chat, Class C. Once again, yes, they are. They out here. They giving it up. So I don't think these men aren't pressuring. If these women are attracted to him, they're gonna give it up, and it's no thing to them. Scorpion Chris says, okay, he's the male version of the women that comes on her show. Thank you, Scorpion Chris, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Says he's the male version of the women that comes on her show. Thank you once again. I appreciate you. Yeah, it is crazy. Let's continue.
I respect your viewpoint, and I stand by what I said earlier. Husbands, that's how they talk. Men like you who don't. You was once married. I don't know what happened in your marriage. But we could go further. You said your piece.
Well,
I
I
said
think
my
that
piece.
shows that I'm willing to marry. You know what I'm saying? So that's what
I think the
Go
biggest
ahead.
thing that you expect a woman to have sex with you, knowing that you're dating other women and knowing that she's not your girlfriend. To me, that's where it'd be different if you're like, I'll date a woman who's like, I'm not gonna have sex with you if you're sleeping with other women, but you're like, you won't even date that woman.
Well, women only do that when they don't like you. So, like you saying
That's
all of this, but in the real life world, like when you go out with a girl, women will ditch everything that they think as soon as they meet guys that they actually like. Okay, and all the women in the chat, they know it's true. They go out with guys and they'll lose all the rhetoric that they watch because when they meet a guy that they actually like, not only do they do it because they don't want him to leave, but they themselves want to do it. You know, so the one thing that I always tell guys is how much women enjoy doing the do just like men. So women do this all the time. It don't matter what you're saying. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying like they doing it. So
listen, that's why I'm saying he's telling that is facts. I said it, facts. That's just facts. Girls, women be like, ooh, girl, ooh, I don't like him. Ooh, she ain't doing nothing. Do you think she gonna sleep with a dude that she just looking at saying ew to? She not attracted. She not feeling him, so she ain't doing nothing with him. The ones they like, they ain't thinking about your money. On, oh, girl, he fine. He can make $2. He fine, and you go with him. So yes, he's speaking facts on that. I have to say, Classy Perspective says Kendra know all of these successful men, but nobody wants her or her eggs. Oh my God. She'll find somebody, Classy, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the super chat, Classy Perspective. I appreciate you. She's gonna find somebody. Oh Lord. We're gonna pray for her. I'm gonna pray for her. Let's continue.
I ain't got to worry about no girl not
Let
doing
me
it.
see if we're still echoing.
Okay,
We have an echo, so I will continue with you. Yes, I don't know what's happened. You said you're not recording. Why we have an echo? Hello?
I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not recording nothing. I don't even stream. I don't stream.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. We have so many paid questions. I will say this. I will give you that. You're absolutely right. And women got it, just like I was telling, like him. Women need to stop doing that. Stop throwing out your standards for the guy that got a big penis or a lot of money, because what happens is men are not going to take you serious when you come with your standards for them, because there is truth to that part. I will definitely give you that. All right, we got a lot of paid questions. I want to continue with you, but do you want the paid questions for you?
Absolutely. And I just want to say one thing on what you just said real quick. I can you hear me clearly?
I can.
I totally disagree with the part that women should not do that. I think women should do that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. And I actually think
hold on, you think a woman should agree to have sex with a man knowing that he's having sex with other women?
yeah, because they having sex with other guys.
So a woman should agree to potentially get an STD or get pregnant by a man who's not her man, even though he's having sex with other women. You think
Kendra, they doing it anyway, boo. Come on now, Kendra. Now listen. Now, if you're talking to a woman that's a virgin, in my opinion, she's a virgin. She hasn't given her body to anybody. She's more than likely to have some standards if she's waiting for marriage, because if she's a virgin in her 20s or 30s, maybe she's waiting for marriage to bust it open. So I could give her that. But these women are not out here like that. They are not. This is why I talk about promiscuous women and women who just busting it open for anybody, because anybody that they like, they busted it open for. So, I mean, they're not just going to stop. If they're attracted to the dude, they take it there. He's doing nothing different from what the women are doing. There may be to me, the women, there might be some young women out here, because there are some who have standards and they're not engaging in that way. I don't think that they should go out there and compromise their bodies for somebody who they don't know if it's going to be a serious committed relationship or not. At least establish a relationship with the person before because you're holding, or stick to what you're holding yourself for. I think you should have, if you have those standards and you've never given yourself to anybody, then you should hold on to your standards. Don't compromise them for somebody who you don't know if they're serious or not. But these chicks out here busted up, they've been with thousands, hundreds and hundreds of dudes. They not trying to do that. They don't care. They like you. They trying to get some D. This is what they try to do. I'm getting to the D and he getting to the P. This is what they say. And then you weren't caring about a baby. You get pregnant. Oh, well, they don't even be using protection. A lot of them. Y'all see these STD rates going up and up and up. They out here doing it raw. And they loving it. And then when they catch something, they crying, of course. But you should have known about that. You was out here, didn't care. This is, even I know that they out here doing it, baby. They doing it. Just saying. Let's continue.
The woman should agree to that.
So no, but let me add this in there real quick. Sex does not automatically, and I was just having this conversation today. Sex does not automatically equate to a pregnancy, to a STI. It's not that difficult to get somebody tested.
So you're wearing condoms every time you have sex.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of my program. Yeah. Nah. Yeah, got to.
Well, I would say this. There's something called oxytocin, and when a lot of times, like you said earlier, this is why women have to be more careful on who they give their vagina to, because you said earlier you have crazy girls, and I'm assuming I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong. Are these women you once had sex with?
Yeah.
Okay, so when a woman has sex, oxytocin is released, and it usually makes her like the man more, and sometimes the opposite happens for the guy. He's been working so hard, he's being the guy because he hasn't gotten your vagina yet. So as you get more connected, the goal that he had switches off. So now it transfers. The woman is like, oh, I really want you because it's the oxytocin that got released during sex. And you, because you kind of already hit it, may not be as interested. So it's not in the woman's favor. No, you can look this up about oxytocin. It's not in a woman's favor if she wants a serious relationship to create a soul tie with a man that she might not be able to have a serious relationship with. Now, be clear, I'm talking about serious relationship. If a woman just wants to have fun and that's what she wants, don't really want nothing more, then okay, that makes sense. But I don't think a woman should agree to knowingly have sex with a man that is telling her, oh yeah, I'm sleeping with other women too, and she should be okay with that.
Okay, so I disagree with the whole thing. I would call that societal programming, like that whole pair bonding, oxytocin and oxytocin, all that stuff. I don't care how many bodies a woman got. That means nothing to me. So, because you can pair bond and be connected. There's people right now that got 30, 40 bodies. They in long-term relationships. There's people that got 2 or 3 and she can't keep a man to save her life. You see what I'm saying? So to me, there's no consistency there to say that sleeping with anybody is going to make you better or worse when it comes to pairing with somebody.
No. I'm talking about when we said the woman went crazy. I'm telling you why she went crazy. That's
they was just crazy.
No, it's a scientific fact. You can look it up. That's why women get more emotionally connected after they have sex. You can look this up. I'm not making this up.
No, I know where you're getting it from.
You can just understand why some women, you're saying, goes crazy after sex. Now, I'm assuming you don't mind if she's sleeping with other men.
Of course not.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get to some of the paid questions because there's a lot of them. There's so many. I don't know if I can read them all. I'll try. SEA said, well, no, I think it depends on the type of woman you're dealing with. I think your pool is attracting your kind. So, okay.
I've talked to hundreds.
He's recording. Go back and watch.
I'm not recording anything, Kendra. You're going to see this. I ain't recording nothing.
Okay. Emotional Cancer said, let's hear from his ex-wife. This is a to me red pill.
Me and her, we still in contact. We saw each other not that long ago. So she'll have sex? Yeah, we did.
Was that the woman you was with on Thanksgiving?
No.
Ooh, child. So you still sleep with your ex-wife. I don't know. You seem very transparent. How many women are you currently having sex with?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have to sit down and think about it. I know over the last month I slept with 7 different women, new women.
In the last month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And all these women know that you're sleeping with this amount of women?
I mean, they don't know that because they don't ask. I just give the information that's necessary.
Now.
That's fine. I'm living in my truth.
Okay. Willis Wilson said, facts, women act brand new depending on the guy situational. I can agree with that. I said that to you. I can agree with that. And that is a reason why. And again, I don't claim to be a dating coach, but when you talk to people for almost 5 years, you hear men's assessment. And that's one of the things I hear the most is men get mad at women's standards because they feel like the standards only apply to certain men. So I've heard that before, and that's a point I will give you.
Well, I think guys who wait to sleep with women are weak. So I would call them beta males.
Okay, what do y'all think of that statement? He says he think guys who wait to sleep with women are weak. What do y'all think? Do y'all agree or disagree? Let me know in the chat. Do you agree with what he just said or do you disagree? That guys who wait to sleep with women are weak. Do you agree or do you disagree? I want to know y'all thoughts in the chat. Let me know. Let me know what y'all think about that statement. Let's continue.
A guy that waits to sleep with a woman. So how fast should a guy have sex with a woman?
It's not necessarily a set timeline that I teach, but it should be what he wants. So like if you're trying to sleep with a girl on the first night or the second night and she says no, she's not that type of girl. For one, that's BS. She's just doing that to you because she don't like you. But
hold on. There are some women even that don't have sex on the first night.
Yeah, because they don't like the guy. That's the only reason they do it.
That's not true. You can't say that. That's not true.
No, I can't say it. It's true.
There's women that are married to men who they did not have sex with on the first night.
Yeah, and hold on, Rick, I got you. And she leads the relationship. So I'm gonna tell you why. If he wanted to do it, that's an instruction or like a leadership. He was trying to lead it to the bedroom. She told him no. So once he did sleep with her, you can sleep with women like that. But what you're doing is you're submitting to women. So the whole relationship is already set on the foundation that you followed her lead. She told you when you was gonna get it. You did everything to get her. It's supposed to be the other way around. If you're the leader, she's supposed to be doing stuff to get you. So when you say it's time to go into the bedroom. That's when it's time to do it.
Now, there are situations where men have kind of chased women for sex and they chased them a little bit and they end up getting it. And when they got it, they ghosted the chicks. They weren't, she wasn't leading nothing. It was no relationship to lead. He wanted what he wanted and he didn't get it when he wanted it, but he eventually got it. And then he backed away. So I don't agree completely with what he's saying there because there's too many situations. There's too many instances of this going many different ways, so I don't know. There are men who they definitely wanted sex from a certain woman and they played around with her and hung around her until they got it and then they ghosted her because they didn't really want it. They needed to get what they wanted. They didn't get it on the first night. They get it on the second. Maybe they got it on the third. Maybe they got it in a couple of weeks. Maybe they got it in a month. But they played around and still hung around till they got it, and then that was it. It was done. He wasn't weak or head over heels for her, running behind. Nothing. He ran the opposite way. He got what he wanted, and he moved on to the next. I don't condone that, but there's no one set way that this stuff goes. There's many different examples of situations where this goes many different ways. You know what I'm saying? So. I don't know. There's no one size fits all. I said more than one thing could be true at the same time, meaning that there's a lot of examples of this. Just because a man, he might ask for the sex on the first night, she don't give it to him, you just walk away. Well, then maybe you just don't want to waste your time. Because she might give it to you the second night, the third night. You know what I'm saying? You play your cards right, you might get it, might not be on the first. You know what I'm saying? But then you get it, and then what? I don't know. It's a lot of different situations. Let's continue, y'all.
If she doesn't do it, she's uncooperative. She's not submitting, which is fine. That's her right. But you need to walk away. That's what I tell guys all the time. And so what they don't realize is when you get resistance in the beginning from a woman, like in the beginning, you trying to sleep with her the first night, second night, especially knowing that all women, they done slept with some guy fast. I don't care what they say. The fact that she's doing that, she's setting the relationship up on her terms. You slept with her on her terms. That's a no-no. That's why she's never going to cooperate 100%. So you can get married to her, but she the one that's got the pants on in a relationship. So I'm not trying to deal with that.
Okay, let me jump in. So I want to say this. I'm not a married woman. So the things I'm about to talk about are from successful marriages that are very close friends and things that I have learned from marriages. I really feel sad for this current generation because you guys really have no clue about marriage. Everything you just said is about leading. I pray for you in life that no hardship ever happens to you because you're speaking like you're 24 years old. God forbid you get with a woman and you're up. God forbid you get into a car accident and you can't work anymore. That woman's going to have to hold it down. Marriage is a partnership. And this is what's being lost because men have these egos so much that they keep saying a man has to leave. Well, life happens. And as you live life, you're going to learn that. And things go up. You could lose your job. The girl got to hold it down. She could lose her job. You got to hold it down. That's what marriage is. It's a partnership. It's about two people coming together to hold each other down. But a lot of this is being lost in this art because you, as a dating coach, are teaching men egotistical shit. And that's why I said you're not, I mean, listen, if you want to date, you're right, a dating coach. I don't see how you're ever going to last in a marriage with that mindset because life happens. There's no guarantee that God is not going to humble you where you're going to be in a position where your wife got to hold it down. So all this rhetoric about you being the leader is just bullshit. You want to find a person that you could rock out with life with, and life goes up and down. And this is why the internet has ruined so many relationships because that one piece people don't want to talk about. But I pray that you never have to experience hardship and that you can be this man to hold it down as the way you're speaking. But live a little bit longer and maybe you'll learn otherwise.
Can I respond to that, or you want to keep going?
Absolutely, you could respond.
My response to that, and you might be a little surprised, I'm a lot more nuanced than you probably think. So everything you just said, there's nothing in there that I disagree with. But what I would say is how you start, right, is how you're going to finish. So from the beginning, when I hear you talk about leadership and like a woman holding it down for me and stuff, like, yeah, that's the whole thing. You would want a woman that would do that for you. Like, I'm not opposed to that. I have no ego, by the way. I have no
Wait,
ego.
pause. The reason I went there and I let you talk and I got to jump in, that's not what you just said. You just said that a woman that does that means the woman's leading the relationship. And I will never let a woman lead the relationship. So that's why that's not true because a man could lead. I'm going to give you an example of what I'm thinking of. One of my friends married an athlete. So he's million plus, right? When they got married, he got injured about a year and a half into their marriage. And then she had to step up. So he came in, if you want to say the leader, yeah, but then life happened. And not only did he lose his career, he lost the mindset. You know, a lot of things come with that. You know, the ego, the cheers. You didn't make it as far as you thought within your career. So you're dealing with just not money loss. But she had to step up and hold her husband down while they had to go through that phase in their marriage. So I would never agree with, I understand what you're saying as in leadership, but the people that I know that are married, they have partnerships, and sometimes different people may lead in different parts of the marriage.
Yeah. So, and again, my articulation of it, I wouldn't call that leadership, but as far as like the specifics of what you're talking about, I think all of that is fine. All I'm saying is this, plain and simple. If a guy's desire is to sleep with a woman on the second night and she says no, when we get to the bare bones of it, that is a woman being uncooperative with what the instruction that you're giving. That's as simple as what it is. And if you keep,
hold on, pause. I want to make sure I hear you clearly. So
yeah.
if a man wants to have sex with a woman on the second date and she says no, you consider that uncooperative?
Yeah, because he gave her an instruction. She said no. That's what that is.
Now, let me ask y'all this. Do you think that a woman should listen to a man's instruction that she's just going on a date with? So if she's on date 1, date 2, his instruction is, hey, I want to sleep with you. She's supposed to say yes. If she says no, would you walk away? Would you guys, do you agree with what he's saying? If she doesn't want to sleep with you, you walk away after the first date or the second date? Or what do you think? Because we've been hearing for years that, hey, if a woman sleep with a man on the first date, then she might be considered a 3 or 4. How many other men that she's done this with? So which one is it? Are y'all agreeing with what he's saying, or you disagreeing? Because if you agree with what he's saying, then I have more questions. Because I'm like, well, if that's the case, then why is it so much backlash about 3 or 4s then who's sleeping with men left and right? Because you sleep with him, that relationship don't work. And then you will meet another guy if he thinks this way, then you're gonna have to sleep with him, and then that don't work out. And then now you got a big body count. Now men don't like women with high body count. So why would that be okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm wondering. Be Black 10. Thank you for the super chat. Says no wisdom in that conversation Kendra is making. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I disagree. Let's see. Go back to the video games. Oh my God. I disagree with that. Let me see. Yeah, I just want to know. She's a time waster. I disagree with him. It depends on the man's intent. I can't stand people talking on things they know nothing about. He's still wet behind the ears. She was being an uncooperative officer. This dude is a menace. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do it from a safety standpoint, not sexual. Crack era adults think a little different than most normal people. Uh Yeah, I'm like, okay, so she got to be cooperative in that way when it, Now I could see this is why, this is why, but once again, this is probably foreign information for a lot of modern women and modern in today's society because I don't know, when I was younger, it was a thing that hey, if a guy took you out on a date, you wasn't expecting a guy to spend a lot of money on you, or you would well, at least I would be open to doing something that didn't cost a lot of money because if I know that I'm not trying to put out, I don't want you to have any expectations of what type of girl you think I am or what you think I'm going to do. If I had no expectations in sleeping with you with the first date I met you or went out with you, I just want to have a conversation to get to know you. I'm not trying to bust it open right then. I'm trying to get to know you. I need to see, if there's more than just a visual, attraction or physical, if there's more of an attraction there. I don't know if I want to do that on a first night. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if a woman says no, she don't want to do that, then I don't see why that should be a problem. And but there was always this idea of, hey, you don't want him buying you expensive gifts or things or spending money on you because so there won't be any confusion as to what he's expecting. Because it was always kind of an idea. Look, if a man is spending money on you, if he's gonna do all this for you, then he's gonna expect something. And women want things and money, and men want sex. So if he's giving you something, then he's probably looking to have a good time with you. And if that's not something that you're looking to do, you don't accept those gifts from men. That's how, I was, the ladies used to talk when I was growing up. Like, oh no, you don't. If a man bought you a expensive necklace or something, I didn't. You give that back because it's like, nah, because I know there's something that comes with that. You want something for that. That ain't free. Nothing's free. So you want something. You want something for that. You're not just spending your money for nothing. So the idea of men spending money on you out on all these dates is, of course, they want sex in return. But this is why I don't understand why. But I think some of these women do kind of get it because this is why they want so much on the first date because they know what you're expecting. Now, whether they give it to you or not is a whole nother story. But a lot of them are, they know that you're expecting sex. So I'm going to try to get everything I can out of you, the most I can get for what you're looking for. And some of them still don't give it to you. And then some of them do. If you're attracted to you enough, then they will. So, it's crazy. Let's continue.
So on the second date, whatever it may be, you feel as though a woman should at that moment, if he desires. Now, second date, she's not his girlfriend. She probably doesn't know what they're doing on the second date. She should be willing to have sex with him.
So this is where the overlap comes in, like the conflating what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is different than what you probably ever heard.
No,
so let me say this. No, I got you. I'm about to answer you. She does not have to do anything she doesn't want to do. What I'm telling the guy is she did not want to do what you wanted to do. Walk away. That's all I'm saying. She can do whatever she wants. I don't care about it if a woman don't want to do it.
So you're saying on a second date, if a guy wants to have sex and the woman says no, you agree with her right to say no, but you are telling the guy as a dating coach to leave that woman.
Absolutely.
Well, now I understand why men are the way they are, because they got people like you they going to.
Well, they need to come over here more because that's not why they are the way they are right now. They the way they are because they doing what you saying. So a woman to tell them no, listen, and they keep chasing.
I want to be clear, and I'm not a married woman, so I want to say that I'm not a married woman. That's why I'm talking about, and that's why I've learned in this scenario, the married men, I'm talking about, they just don't talk like this. I'm just being honest. The married men that I know have been married for years, successful men, all of them told me that their wives didn't give it up to them right away. And that's actually what made, that's actually what made her different. Because they were so used to the women that you slept with in the 7 months seven women in 1 month that just gave it up. So to them, it's like, okay, this girl has a different set of standards for herself. She's just not as easy, because on the flip side, some men look at women like that. Oh, I'm not going to wipe you up. You give it up to me on the second date. That means you might give it to somebody else on the second date.
Now, you know what? Now I have to say, because this what we hear. This is what we hear people say. Oh, well, she's probably a 3 or 4 if she gave it up that easy. There are a lot of men who don't care about that. I'm just saying. Look, I'm just saying. I know a lot of people. Well, not a whole lot, but a few people who are married, and they did not wait all that long before they had sex. I'm just saying. And they ended up married. Typically, the majority of the ones who are married, they didn't wait a long time before they had sex. They did it. They did it because they were attracted to each other, and they end up. If you got two people who are attracted to each other, it's gonna happen. If y'all are hanging around each other a lot, and y'all really are physically attracted to each other, some of that other stuff goes out the window. I'm just saying. But if y'all like each other, y'all attracted to each other, y'all really like each other, y'all like each other's company, y'all gonna do it. And then those be the ones ended up married. So I don't know. I think it is this kind of mentality that we wanna believe and say, oh, well, you shouldn't, you know, they're not doing it. These good girls, a lot of them are. Now, it don't mean that they're going and do it with a whole bunch of, some of these women have rosters. So they out here with you and this one and that one and that one. I wouldn't recommend that. But I'm like, if you know this is the person you like and he like you and y'all been hanging around each other, y'all are, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I don't care how you try to switch it and it's going to happen. But then, you know, you got to make a decision. Okay, because I'm like, look, once it happened, okay, baby, we together. We together. I don't give a damn what you say. we together now. Okay, so it's happened. It was good. We liked it. You know, we like each other. You like me. Okay, baby, everything else got to go. Because if I'm not what you want and you just play, then I ain't got time to stick around. But once we go there, you got to understand now, do you really want this? Because if this is what you want, this is what you're going to get. And you better be ready to get it and keep it and accept it and lock her down. Because if not, no, it ain't worth it. But I mean, in a perfect world, we'll sit there and say, oh, no, but it's happening. It's happening. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Now, can you get, but here's the deal. Can you have one night stands turn into marriage? Absolutely. So that can be possible too. But I'm just thinking I got to go by real life examples of the men that I know are married and still married and successful. They didn't have sex with their wives fast.
Okay. So first thing I say, like I said before, money is not a metric of being like a real man for me whatsoever.
So what's the measure of a real man to you? I'm just curious.
I'm going to answer that. I just want to say this real quick before I forget, because off of what you said, the second thing off of what you said, those guys that most men are weak. Like I would say 95% of men are beta males and simps, most of them. So just because you in a long lasting marriage does not mean it's set up in the order that it's supposed to be according to like the divine nature of God. So a lot of those dudes that you're talking about, they're still submitting to their wives. Their women are in charge of them. And the second thing I want to, and the third thing I want to.
So explain to me how their woman. So let me ask you this, because I'm gonna just use somebody. I think we will all agree LeBron James is very successful, right?
Yeah.
He's on record saying there's no way he could be as successful without his wife, Savannah. So do you consider him a weak man?
No, that don't make him weak. It's nothing wrong with appreciating your woman. I'm talking about you saying that the guys you're talking about, their wives made them.
But they say, hold on. They say the same exact thing LeBron James says. I just used him
as
an example because
it's nothing wrong with saying that. That's not what I'm talking about. It's the point. It's the part.
But LeBron James, hold on. LeBron James literally falls into the category of what I'm speaking of. He is on a record of saying he would not be where he is without his wife, Savannah. He's on record saying this. So how does it not apply to LeBron James, but every other guy I'm talking about who literally has said the same thing? I'm confused.
So I got you. So it's not that rhetoric, like them saying that in itself is not bad. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that. The part that I'm highlighting that we're focusing on that I don't want you to skip over is where you just said the men you're talking about. I don't know LeBron James' situation with how he slept with, what's her name? Savannah or whatever. When you talking about the guys that you saying that their wives made them wait. So as soon as I hear that, I know that they submitted to her on her timeline. You see what I'm saying? They gave her an instruction. They wanted something. She did not want to do it, which is fine. Like I said, a woman has that right. But what I'm saying is the fact that he kept going, now he's chasing a woman. He submitted to her on her timeline to get the box. So he's a submissive man. And those dudes are confused. So those are the same guys that will say that they want submissive women, right? So I don't agree with the rhetoric where you said a guy will sleep with a woman and say, oh, she gave it up to me fast. She must have did this for everybody. That's a weak way of thinking. When if a woman don't submit to me and sleep with me when I'm saying, whether it's the third date, fourth date, first date, I'm discarding her because she's uncooperative. So for me, those guys, they reward women who disobey them and they submit to them. For me, I give girls place in my life that sleep with me the first night. You not no thought because of that. That's good. The girls that tell me I'm not that type of girl, I know she a liar because she did it with somebody else and she's just trying to do that to me. So why would I submit to her?
This. For you.
Okay, what do y'all think about what he just said? Do y'all think there's some truth to that? Let me know in the chat. Divine Photo says, he 24. What could a young dude like him teach older men? I do understand his perspective, but he better dedicate his audience to young men and not older. I see what you're saying. Because I think he has some points in there too, Divine Photos. I think there's some stuff I don't agree with, but there's some parts that I do agree with. I think he has a point with some things, not all of it, but I just think he definitely has he does have some points in there. Thank you, Divine Photos. I appreciate you for the super chat and for being here. Let's continue, y'all.
Your experience, that's fine, but there's a lot of good, beautiful women who do not have sex on the first date. So don't say every woman. You could say women that you have come across.
And then it may not be the first date, but it'd be the second date. You know what I'm saying? Or the third date. It like be like in the first week. So, I mean, what's the difference? You know what I mean? Some of them just, not the first night, but could be the second night, could be the third night, could be within that week. Because, women like sex just as much as men. And if they find you attractive enough, yeah, they will do it. That's all I'm saying. Let's continue.
And that's what you attract. So that's fine. I'm not here to judge. I can't talk about, I'm only going to use celebrities because we all know celebrities. So FYI, okay? I don't know the timeline of LeBron James and Savannah James, so we'll move forward. So, but we do know Russell Wilson and Sierra did not have sex right away. So to you, Russell Wilson is a weak man?
Yeah, he's a beta male, 100%.
Well, I think women, you should all want beta males because
if
they should. Wilson, hold on, pause. If Russell Wilson, a man who is a family man, very, very successful, has no problem making his wife feel appreciated and loved because she brought, I want to say, three of his children into this world. Ladies, just start praying for beta men. I don't care what you call the adjective to be, but any man that thinks Russell Wilson is less than is the type of man you should not want to date. That's a sad guy. Because that's the type of man that most men should strive to be like. There is nothing. This man is a whole family guy, like married to the woman that brought his children into the world, but yet and still he's a beta man. So you think Future is probably better than Russell Wilson? Do you?
Yeah.
Future, who has, okay, so you, in your mind, Future is a better man than Russell Wilson.
In the context with Sierra, not the whole. I'm
asking you because you call Russell Wilson a beta man. So you think
he is? He with Sierra, he's been a beta male. He's submitted to her, so she runs the relationship.
I'm asking you about men right now because you say men are still here. Okay, are we still?
Oh, see what I'm saying? I done muted and y'all couldn't hear me. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My question was this, like, so if a man dates a woman that's a single mother, she has a child, like Sierra, right? That automatically makes him a beta male, and him being a beta male means what? Does that mean that he's gonna be a simp to her? What does it mean? Because listen, once again, I've seen a lot of situations, and I've seen situations, a lot of different situations, and they don't all line up quite the way people say it on these social media streets. There are very masculine, what's the beta male, and then what's the other one? What's the other one? There are men who are opposite of beta males, and they've dated women with children and married them, and they had successful relationships, and he controlled and run their house. So, but then there's some where it's the other way, like y'all, like they be saying. I don't know. I think there are many different examples of all of this. So I'm trying to find out, like, so if a beta male marries a woman that has a child, then that means what? She's running the show. She controls the household. She's running him, or what? He's going to be more like submissive to her. Does that mean that? Versus a man who don't marry a woman with children and y'all have your own kids. I've seen men who've married a woman with no kids and they married, and he seems still more like the beta male. If that's what y'all, if it's bait, he still seems like she's still running the show. She wearing the pants. She's calling the shots. He's not leading that. She is. And so does that mean that? Like, let me know, y'all. Classic Perspective says he keeps saying something profound people overlook. No matter what you think of his thoughts, he says the woman has the right and choice to leave. Now that's true, right? You have a right to say whether you want to agree with that or not. It's all up to your choice. You could say, okay, well, that's what you want. I don't want that, and I'm out. So she does have the choice to go with that or not. You know what I'm saying? Agree with it or not. Thank you, Classic Perspective. I appreciate you. Yeah, Alpha. So there is some merit to his argument, but it can definitely be a dangerous situation. He's just a help. Yes. Yep. Okay. Because like I said, Johnny C says, I don't care, to be honest. You're weak for dating a single mother. Sierra doesn't like him. Two things can be true. That's what I'm saying, fourth dimension. I've seen too much. That's what I think about as you age and you get older. I'm 49 now. Yeah, I'll be 50 next year. Oh my God. That I don't even feel like that. I will be 50 next year. And being with age and time, you see all kinds of stuff. So it's not, it's I have seen many of these examples. And then B Black 10 says Sierra's a 304 all day long. There are women who have been considered 304s who are married. Now I'm not gonna say it's a big percentage of them, but there are some, and they're married and they've had children and they're living their lives and they're together. So maybe I could assume that the woman, she was a 304, and the man in that situation, I could assume, okay, based off that, he's a what is it? Well, not the alpha man, but he's the beta man, and she's just running the household and treating him bad. And that is not the case. That's what I'm saying. I think you could get caught up into these narratives and just believe this stuff wholeheartedly, and go with it. Now, I do believe there's some truth. There's some truth to a lot of it now. I wouldn't just dismiss it because there's some truth to it. There's some stuff that you just can't change. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But there are many examples of if one person say, oh, well, you a beta male if you date a woman with a child, or she don't want to sleep with you on the first night, or then and you keep dating her, then you're a beta male. But is that the case? There are a lot of women who don't. A man, I'm pretty sure if he's attracted to her, he want to have with her. Men want to have sex. They always want to have sex. So if she's not ready to do it, I mean, what if she go on a date and she's on her period? I'm just saying, y'all would consider that. She not trying to do nothing like that, but you could still do things. You know what I mean? It's that time of the month. She might not be ready to do it, but once that's over with, she finds she want to. Like, there's a lot of things to consider, a lot of factors to consider based on what he's saying, even though there's some truth to it. is not all the way there, in my opinion. There's a lot of other like little nuances that play a part in why people make the decisions that they make. Now, I will agree. If a woman is attracted to you, yeah, she'll sleep with you, even if she have morals and values. She's more than likely will want to be with you, but she wouldn't, if she's not a promiscuous woman, she's not gonna go to sleep with everybody else that she meets. She gonna want to keep doing it with you. But if he's still out here exploring options and he's sleeping with everybody else, if she knows about it, she might have a problem with that, because she's trying to lock in, like, hey, I like him, I'm attracted to him, I'm giving him my body, so I want to be with him. A woman who's not promiscuous and really is trying to find a solid relationship, she gonna want to be with him and be with him a lot. So then it's up to him to determine if he want to be with her and all of that. But what if he doesn't? Then he don't want to be with her, and now she's wasted her time, and then he gonna finish with the rest. How does that work? I really want to hear y'all thoughts on this one. It's crazy. Oh, you say stay your ass home. Stay home. Oh my God. Oh my God. If a woman has genuine desire for a man, she'll be willing to break her own. Yep, that's true. Atomic structures. That's true. We'll reschedule. David said we'll reschedule. Don't go on dates when you're on your. Listen, women do it all the time, Alex. Y'all just don't know about it. So most of these women ain't out here having sex on the first night. They going on the dates because y'all don't know. They got to do everything else with that. You can't look when that happens. You can't stay home from work. That's not how it works. Women are out here multitasking. You got to go to you ain't no I'm going through. It's my monthly. I got to stay home. No, you can't stay home from work. You can't stay home from nothing. You got there women in sports who going through that all the time. They got to stay. You got a tournament. You going to stay home? No, you can't stay home. You got to do it. That's how women look. Look, as a young woman, had to go through that. You can't stay home. You got to go do what you got to do. So it becomes a part of your everyday life. See, that's the stuff men don't have to worry about. Shit, as women, we got to maneuver around that. Hell, all them years, like the show don't stop. So women don't look at it like that. They don't like, oh, I'm going to date. I gotta, what for what? I'm not, what I gotta stay home for. That it don't stop nothing else, I'm just saying that's the stuff that women got to deal with. It's a part of life, you marry a woman, she got to go through that, right? Do you want her to not? Do she not cook and clean when she going through that? No, that's a part of her life. You got to make it a part of your life. It's a part of you. You can't get rid of it until it's done. You don't stop cooking. You don't stop cleaning. You don't stop taking care of your kids. You don't stop doing all the stuff you need to do because of that. No, even if it is painful, you still got to figure that out. That's the stuff women got to deal with, which is not all cutesy. So yeah, I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Okay, we're still here. Something happened. I don't know what happened, child. Okay, we'll go back to I can't even see the chats no more. I can't even see the comments anymore. Oh wait, he came back. I do want to wrap you up. Okay, did you hear my question of I'm talking about men in period. So you think Future is a better man than Russell Wilson?
I don't know Russell Wilson or Future as a man to answer that. I can only go off the context of the situation.
Well, hold on. You don't know the men that I know, and you call them weak. So how come these men are more famous? You can make more. More assessment for the famous guy.
No, I know because you said that they followed the woman's timeline to get the box. They submitted to her, so I know.
Okay, well we know. Hold on, pause. So we know that Russell Wilson followed Sierra's timeline, and we know Future did not. So with that being said, you have that information on both. So do you have a higher regard for Future over Russell Wilson?
In the context of that situation, 100%, yes.
So a man that married a woman that had his children is less of a man than a man that has 8 children by different women all around the world. You as a dating coach are saying that you have a higher regard for Future over Russell Wilson.
And that's you're conflating two things.
I'm not conflating anything. I'm asking you clear questions. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I'm talking about the scenario with Sierra. It's
not about Sierra. No. You talked earlier. You were judging men, saying how they were following women and that these are weak men that go by a woman's timeline. These are the things that you said.
Yeah, that's Russell
So,
Wilson. He's a beta male. Yes, he is.
okay, so you would teach more men to be like Future over Russell Wilson.
In the context of that scenario, 100%. Yes.
So you would, okay, so we got to give all the context of the scenario. Future also has 8 children by different women. What's your thoughts on that? By going by your teaching.
There's nothing wrong with having 8 children by different women.
Oh, child. Well, this is so funny to me. This is literally funny. It's literally funny. It explains the current state of how men date. And, you know, hey, I mean, it is what it is. It's hilarious to me that
Are
you
we
would
able to
actually
read the
have
question? Or no?
It's hilarious that you think there's nothing wrong with having 8 kids by 8 women, and you will put them on a higher regard than a man who is building a house and a home for his family. But hey, I mean, that explains it all. I mean, it literally explains it all to me. Explains it all.
Scorpion Chris, thank you for the super chat. Says that was the most painful, gut-wrenching, low-level, juvenile, base. What is it? Base backwards? Oh, base backwards. I think they're trying to say conversation between 2 ignorant ass people that I've ever heard that calls themselves dating coaches. Say it with your chest, Scorpion Chris. So he said what he said. He's like, hey, this was some ass backwards, basically. Low level juvenile conversation, baby. Ass backwards. The most painful, gut wrenching, low level juvenile ass backwards conversation between 2 ignorant ass people that I've ever heard that calls themselves dating coaches. Well, you know, Kendra says she's not a dating coach, right? Baby, thank you so much. I see you don't agree with it, Scorpion Chris. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate your thoughts and your opinions. Yeah, this was kind of a lot. I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot. I'm just trying to see it through, y'all.
All right, I think we had to go. I mean, it went out, but some of these questions
we could just answer the questions because we keep going on. If you're okay with that, I'm being respectful of the platform. But if you want to,
I run this over here, boo.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Yeah, this you.
So you just sit back and enjoy the questions that come to you.
Yes, ma'am.
There are some questions that went out because the thing went out, but they're on my phone. So Muscle March Fitness says, DM, God said, get that ninja off the show. Oh, that's when we went out. I'm going to try to read them from my phone. They're not all there.
Here we go.
Okay, D Green says, he doesn't live up to that name. He's far from sexually disciplined, then has the nerve to speak on God. Matthew 26:41, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Is that a man or a woman that said that?
That was a woman.
Yeah, I mean, look. I probably wouldn't even smash her. So if she's saying talking discipline, I wouldn't even give her nothing.
Okay. Coffee Killer said, the beta males are every female's friend zone list. If a woman wants a submissive man, check your inbox. So a Coffee Killer might be agreeing with you.
No, that's facts.
Shay, Russell over Future. Next. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had to.
Look, you know what? I respect people's opinions and thoughts and what they want to do. You know, everybody not going to agree. Kendra be getting mad though when she don't agree with the person. I don't really, you know, it's that's how you want to live your life. That's your life. I'm not, if I don't agree with something, that ain't what I'm going to do. So I respect people's choices, whatever it is you want to do. I may not agree with it, but that's your business. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Original Mo. I appreciate you. Classist Perspectives, thank you for the super chat. Says Sierra said out her own mouth in an interview. She was helping take care of Future's kids before she got pregnant by Future. Future won. He got Sierra. You know, Thank you for the super chat, classy perspective. You know, but think about this, you know. So I think, you know, Sierra, clearly she was into Future. That was her type. She have a certain type. And she dated him. It didn't work out, and she moved on. My question though, if you make a mistake, like, okay, it's like Sierra, you know, she became a single mother, right? And she realized that type of guy was not going to yield her a good future, you know. And if she wanted a family, they're talking about another baby now. If she wanted a future and a family with a responsible husband who has discipline, somebody who's going to be that type of man, should she just sit back and not go for that type of man, or should she just keep dealing with the Future types? This is the thing that I talk about, how a lot of women, you know, they don't have one kid. And thank you, Classy Perspective, wants to give a super chat. Just listen, I just want to say this and then we're going to get to the end of this. But if you know, like they always say, young and dumb, right? Let's just think of it like this. And you realize the errors of your ways. You made a mistake. You don't want to make that same mistake again. What should you do as a woman who has a child already? You got a child, your child is here, you taking care of your child, but you realize you made a mistake. That wasn't the type of guy that was wanting marriage and commitment, or you just wasn't ready and you was out there wilding out. And then you realize, you know what? I that's not what I want. I want more for my life and now my kids' life. So I'm going to get my shit together and I'm going to go after a man who's more responsible and who wants what I want. You know, yeah, I got a kid, but I'm not going to sit here and just keep on perpetuating that like we see some do. You got one child, then you got two, you're 3 and 4. You ain't learned shit. So if you learn, is there a possibility that a woman, just like a man, can learn from their mistakes and make a change and decide before they get too deep in? You know what I'm saying? We're human beings. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's got this all figured out. There's a lot of women out here who will be single till they die because they can't figure out. And there's going to be a lot of men out here who will be single till they die because you can't get no woman. So let's just be honest about it. Or you don't know how to navigate that, or you don't have the answers. You don't know it right. We are all flawed. Nobody got all the answers. So what I'm saying is, if you learn from your mistakes, like I always talk about, because I know we're all human. We make mistakes. We're human. We don't have all the answers. Because if all of us had all the answers, we'd all have what we want. And a lot of people don't have what they want. So let's just keep it a buck. So let's just say, give her the benefit of the doubt that she said, you know what, I don't want to keep going in this direction. I don't want to become a 2-time baby mama, a 3-time baby mama with different dudes. I want to be married and I want to have. So does she get credit for realizing she made some mistakes and turn it around? And she happened to find a man who didn't have a problem with her having one child and said, okay, he like her, she like him, whatever. If you know, whatever. I'm just saying, I don't know fully what it is, but I'm just saying, can we give the benefit of the doubt that maybe she didn't want to keep making that same mistake? And she's a fairly young woman when she got married. So what she's supposed to do, go sit down and cry in her house with a child and say, oh, I can't get nobody? She's still an attractive woman. She was going to get a man. But what type of man? So as much as we realize Russell Wilson is a different type of dude from what's his name? Shit. Russell, and then we got Future. We clearly see it's a difference. So if you want a different outcome, shouldn't you go after something that's different? I'm just saying, because everybody gets stuck in these ways. And a lot of times this could hold you back. It could hold you back possibly from what you're trying to achieve. I'm just saying. Patrick Tyler, thank you for the super chat, says, you got people who listen to these two? Thank you for the super chat, Patrick. I appreciate you. So, you know, I just think of different ways, because like I said, I see a whole lot of different scenarios. Everything is not just cut and dry. It's not just one way. When we have conversations about these things, or you listen to, you know, Red Pill or whoever you listen to, it's always just one way. But life is not like that. Everything is not just that cut and dry. There's all types of situations out here. Having 8 kids by 8 different women doesn't make you better than anyone, but it's an indicator of an alpha male. Got it. I see the comments. Sierra been with everybody before she even got with Future. And that's no, I'm not giving that to these women. watch her music video and she tell me she had a 304. I mean, listen, this is why I said too, there are men who have wifed up 304s and created whole families with them. Now we could be like, you know, I said too, once a 304, always a 304, but somebody still married her. And I don't think it's large numbers, but there are some men who have married these women, created families with them, and they together. So is it the fact that he was able to get her and marry her and keep her, or is it that she's running the household while they are married? What? But they together. I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's just interesting. Sierra got lucky, however, fitness goes a long way. So what makes him think he can? Sierra did get lucky. She got lucky. Bingo, exactly. So let's keep 100%. She got lucky. She got lucky. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, as a man, if you make a mistake, do you wallow in your mistakes? Do you just sit there and say, okay, this is it, I'm done? Or do you go a different route to try to get a better outcome? I mean, to me, that would be a smarter thing to do. My 2 cents, thank you so much for the super chat, says you're right. It's not just black and white. There's some gray areas in this. He has some points, but when he said there's no problem with having too many baby mamas, I was done. Hopefully he doesn't become a future Pookie. Right. I get you. Thank you, my 2 cents. I appreciate you once again for the super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I just think she was showing her snatch in the music video too. Why would he want that? But that's what I'm saying. As much as, you know, and you know, I've been married for a lot of years. So I get it and I understand. But when we really look at it for what it is, all of this stuff exists. There are men who have married women who were clearly 304s, but he still cared. He didn't care. Even though we hear the majority of the men who talk about body count, there are some men who don't give a shit about that. There are some who don't give a shit, clearly, because they married the women with the high body count. Now, is it big numbers? Once again, I don't think it's big. That's big numbers. Most men care about body count, but there are some who don't, and they married this woman and they seem happy with them. And there are some who wouldn't dare touch a woman who has a high body count. So there's levels to it. If you think just one way based off of what people are saying, and that's it, it kind of can leave you stuck. And this relates to women and men. Everybody, if you just go straight like this and you don't see any other possibilities or nothing, you don't, and you just look at it so narrow-mindedly, that's how a lot of people are stuck. And I have sons, I have daughters. I say it all the time. I don't want my sons date no one with no children, because they don't have children. I don't want my sons, I don't want them to do that. But at the end of the day, and look, I don't think they want it either. But you know, I'm just saying, like, all of these situations exist. You got men who found love in the most strangest places, women who have found love in the most strangest places. Those people are making the marriages work. Then you got people out here who are saying, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, and I'm just being objective. That's all, y'all. There are people who are saying, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And then it don't really give you, a lot of times you don't really get what you want, especially in this, you end up just not getting what you want. And then there are some people who go away outside of what they hear on social media, and they end up getting what they want. So it's like, it's not, I don't think you should settle or compromise what you want. I'm just saying some people decide to take a different route and they end up getting what they want. If everybody's so stuck on this is tunnel vision, it got to be like this, it got to be like this, sometimes you may miss out on something that could be good. I'm just saying. Yeah. Kendra is angry at women who come on her platform with 4 and 5 and 6 baby daddies. No, she's not. Yet she seems furious at the young dating. Shake my head. That's true. If she ain't fast, I would say she's not a 304. Definitely not marrying an older woman, especially if she's high risk pregnancy. No. I can stand on the moon and look down too. Oh my God. Yeah. Michael says, definitely not marrying an older woman if she is high risk pregnancy. Yeah, there's a lot going on, y'all. I would say, I had children in my 40s. I mean, yeah, the doctors consider it high. I've been having children for so long. It's like by the time I got to my 40s, yes, it was considered, I think 35 or somewhere around there. It's considered high risk. But I had, my last child, who is 8. My son is 8. He just turned 8 on the 30th. Had no complications toward the end, a little bit, but all my pregnancies, no complications. And I was, the older I got, it started to be considered high risk pregnancy, but I've had no issues. So I think, a lot of things are subjective. It just depends on the person. It depends on the person. Every situation is not the same. Every situation is not the same. Everybody is not the same. You know what I'm saying? So there are some women who can't have children. There's some women who have high risk pregnancies at 25. There's young women who have high risk pregnancies where they have to be on bed rest at 25. So you just never know the situation. You don't never know what can arise. It's not just one way is all I'm saying. It's not one way, you know what I'm saying? It's not one way. Class says, I know the stats behind women trying to have kids in their 40s. Yeah, I happen to be very fertile. So I had no issues. And some women have issues, some women don't. Very fertile and had no problems getting pregnant at all. But that is different for different women. Everybody's not the same. Some women have issues, a lot of women don't. A lot of them do. It just depends. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know. And it's not always, there are women who are younger who have fertility issues. Younger women have fertility issues. It's not just older women. Then there's, and I guess the older and Classy, you probably, older. There are. I'm pretty sure it's a small percentage of women who are super old are having children. It's a small percentage. I know that. But yeah, there's been women who have died from childbirth young. Everybody is not always old when this happens to them. It just depends on your body, what's going on with you, what happens to happen, so, I just try to keep it open because everything is not just that cut and dry. My 2 cents says some women can bounce back if their situation hasn't gone too far. And if their actions match the change. Yeah, I was one of those. Bounce right back. First child, bounce back. Second one, bounce back. Third one, bounce back. I pretty much bounced back after all of them until I got a little older and then a little more weight stuck. I was just skinny. So it's genetics that play a part in it. It's your health habits. Thank you, my 2 cents. I appreciate you. It's a lot of things that play a part in it. But that's why I understand why being, a big back is a problem, especially if you haven't had kids. If you're 300-400 pounds already, you want kids, that could be very detrimental. That could be a major problem because you can gain anywhere. What is it from? Anywhere from 20 to 30 to 60. You gain anywhere from maybe 20 to 30 to 30, like 20 to 60 pounds with pregnancy. You can gain anywhere from that. So if you already 400 pounds, 400 pounds, Lord, and you want to have multiple children, that's going to be hard to maintain. That's going to be hard to get all that weight off of you. So this is why it's always important to maintain a healthy weight, if you're small, before you have children, because you're going to put on some weight. And a lot of times, even though some people bounce back, the more children you have, you gain a little bit after each child. And then you still got to work out. You still got to work out and maintain that, because if not, you'll be a big house. And I've seen people who were skinny, had one child and blew up. One of my high school friends, she didn't have a child. She just blew up. But there was one girl, a couple of them small, had one kid and blew up. So just if your husband wants multiple children, like, Lord, you gotta work out. You gotta maintain your for your health, not just for how you look, but also how you look in your health as well. So that's why I be like, damn, you want children, you already 300 pounds. Lord, girl, you gotta lose all that weight. Cause that could be a problem. I mean, it could really be a problem. 87 Steven, thank you so much for the generous super chat. I appreciate you. Says, keep up the great work, my sister from another mother. I'm over here streaming and watching you at the same time. Thank you so much for the generous super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support and for being here. Thank you. My 2 cents says, but as far as Sierra, the reason why men talk about her situation because she be twerking at gas stations after marriage. No change in actions. She outside. Thank you, my 2 cents for the super chat. I appreciate you. But listen, he chose her to be his wife. That's his wife. He don't see no problem with it, so I can't see no problem with it. I mean, I see a problem with it, but if he okay with it, I mean, that's on him. Only time will tell to see how that actually pans out. If it works out, if it doesn't, but he got a wife, he got some kids out of it. I mean, he clearly wants a big family. He got a family. I guess he took the chance. That's all I'm saying. He took the chance. He took a chance on a woman that he liked. He didn't care that she had a child already. She had one. He didn't care about none of that. So he took a chance. She said yes. She with him. They together. He's screwing her every night or however much they want to do it. Clearly, they're doing it a lot because they keep making babies. So he's getting something out of it. You know what I'm saying? If he was married to that woman, that white girl, but was they married? He had a girlfriend. I don't know if they married. That didn't work out. He walked away and then he got something that he wanted. He taking a chance on something he wanted. If it don't work out, I guess he's open to the idea that maybe it might not, but you know what? I'm gonna take a chance. He getting something out of it. He getting a beautiful woman that he loves and that he can be with, a whole bunch of other men have been with her too. But shit, if he ain't worried about it, shit, what can we do? And he also getting a woman that he do everybody else want, and he want too. So he can get with her too. I guess it's his turn. Shit. And if it don't work out, it'd be somebody else's turn, I guess. Thank you, my 2 cents. But what I'm saying is, he took a chance and got something he wanted. He wanted her. And he get to be with her. He get to knock her up, have a good time doing it. And that's his wife or whatever. If it don't work out, it don't work out. I guess he move on. I'm just saying. I don't know. We see these situations turn out badly, but hey, that's their choice. He took a chance on something. At least he get to have her for the time being. Shit. If it don't work out, he move on. But at least he could say, look, I got 3, 4, he knocking her up. They want another one. He got 4, gonna have 4, 5 kids with her. He created a family, he got children. And whatever comes of that, but he got children. He created a family. His kids will grow up, they'll know him, whatever. He got a relationship with his kids. That's something he got to be with her. Even if it was temporary. Just saying. He may be open to that, but generally men aren't okay with that. Right. I remember because he was selling air conditioners on CNBC. I don't know who. Y'all all I don't know what that say. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to decide whether you're going to take a chance or not. Do you want to create something or not? Do you think it's worth it? Do you not think it's worth it? Like I say, in my opinion, as much as, I agree that, Russell Wilson may be considered a simple whatever, but I mean, he's probably living the best life that he chose that. He chose her. He could have not went with her. He could have got another woman. I'm pretty sure some, women would be interested in him. He could have chose another one, but he chose her. He knocking her up every time he look. He getting what he want out of it too. She's not the only one that's gaining. He's gaining something too, because he's gained a wife. He's gained a family. And, that's something he wouldn't have had if he wouldn't have got with her. Who knows if any other woman was going to sit there and let him knock her up like that and want all them children. She's willing to have the kids with him. She talking about, yeah, they open to another one. And she's willing to go through that, her body go through that and have his children. So he getting something out of it too. That's just my opinion on that. Let's continue to wrap this video up, y'all.
Because the fact that you honestly think a man that has 8 children, some that he won't even claim, some that he won't even be in their lives, has a higher regard to a man that actually is doing all that he can to keep his family together and showing a Black successful family, that is just laughable to me. But it explains it all, but it's very laughable to me.
If I'll say this, if I was Sierra's age and I done been ran through by guys like Future, I congratulate her. If I was her, I would have tried to get a Russell Wilson too. You get to control the relationship, you get money, you get all the praise. I mean, that's almost like the sprinkle girl fantasy. I would do it.
I feel like there's so much ego talk in this. Control. Why is it control if a man is looking for a woman that has certain characteristics that he can build a life with? Like Russell Wilson talked about, when he's looking for his wife, he was looking at when his father was dying and how his mother was by his father's side during these moments of a man who can't do anything because he's literally dying. But because he chose the right woman to have a life with, she was there. So those are things that was really important for him. And those things kind of have to be vetted via character. So it's just, you have to be who you are, but it's just laughable to me that to you just put that as a beta male opposed to a man who is seeking a life partner that is going to be loyal to their situation. But
No, he's loyal to her situation. I would bet pretty much everything I have, which is probably a lot more than the people in this chat, that Russell Wilson is miserable.
Baby, how much money you got in the bank? Because you keep thinking you so rich, honey.
I don't think I'm so rich.
Well, you just said something about you probably got more than the people watching. You don't know who. I'm trying to be real kind with you. You don't know what these people got in the bank, and I'm not saying that you're not successful. I know you can be successful on the internet.
Now, Kendra, you have women on here talking about they got all kinds of money going and they richer than some of these men. These women have come on there and bigged up themselves and made it seem like they got more money than this one. Why would she? When this is the only thing I don't like. When you don't like what somebody is saying, you do that. It's subjective the way she come for people. Look, that's his opinion. I'm not bad at that. I may not agree, but girl, child, if he make money, let him do. Women have done that. Come on there and say, "Oh, I got money more," because they don't like the comments and stuff, and they respond to it. But boy, okay, let's continue.
Talk is so big talk, like you got tens of millions of dollars in the bank, and if you do, I would be surprised. Okay, so please calm down with the income bracket because I don't think you matching everybody, honey.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
So you don't gotta do no slide. I got more than everybody watching. I don't know if that's the truth.
To be fair, I said probably, but yeah.
And then also earlier, I don't know how money got back into it because you said you don't use money to rent anything.
Yeah, that's just me. Just being boisterous as a human. But okay. I got you. I'm with you. I'll tone it down.
Stacey Bay said, "So are you forcing women to have sex with you? Are they even into it? Sounds like they're just laying there."
No, any girl that sleep with me, they can't get enough. It's amazing. And I don't make nobody do nothing. I just tell them what I want to do. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I'm going to go leave the date and you can go home. And the girls that want to do it, they do it. Like I'm all, see, people going to get me wrong. I'm all for female autonomy, freedom of choice, feminism, all of that. I would give women a lot of the same advice I'm talking about on the perspective of men right now. Like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with women sleeping around and discarding guys if they want to do that. I don't think that's bad. But go ahead.
One thing I will give you that, although I disagree, I appreciate your honesty, right? So you're being honest. You're not lying. I don't think you have a hard time. I think I host, like I said, I host a dating show. So I already know what it is. And you have a lot of the aesthetics that women say they want. You tall, even though they always talk about dark-skinned men, they date light-skinned men too. They do that. I know. So I think you are attractive enough that you are not convincing, and you don't gotta convince her girl to sleep with you. She wants to sleep with you. She wants to sleep with you. So I'll give you that. I do have to move on, but I was looking at the questions from before that went away. I think this might be new. Let me see. Let's see what we have right here. Christina Small said it takes at least 3 months for HIV to be detected. HIV has skyrocketed. Chris Coca on the app. Oh, that's her name on the app. Do you ever think about those concerns I know you say you're being safe with using condoms, but things can happen. Like, do you ever wonder about that? Are you requiring them to take STD tests before you have sex with them?
Yeah, I do.
So, it seems a little bit more stringent when it comes to men. All these women with all these baby daddies and have these men on the side, my little dude on the side, and all these side niggas and stuff. Why that's not questioned if they're being safe and protective, but that it's a little one-sided. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a little bit. Kendra comes off a little more harder on the men. These women on here talking about what a roster mean? That means you got a bunch of men that you sleeping with. Like a lot of these women talking about they got them in rotation. So that means I gotta assume you got all these niggas on a roster and you rotating them out. Has it ever been questioned if they being protective and they ain't going paying for no tests for these men? Are you making these men go get tests and do all this stuff to show you their charts and stuff? Nope. So that part is a little disingenuous. You know, why with the men and all these women out here with all these babes? Clearly they've been screwing around they got all these kids to show for it. So they clearly wasn't using no protection, huh? And all these women popping up with stuff like, come on now, Lord. The dudes did say he was protecting himself in the beginning. So there's a little weird. Let's continue.
But how? That's impossible.
But
I
was gonna say if okay, so it just depends on the scenario, but just to keep it real simple, if it's like a one-off thing, I'm very meticulous with the certain questions that I ask. Like I have a very detailed vetting process for casual hookups, for long term, and I'm pretty much impenetrable. Like nothing's gonna happen to me. I know all the risk I'm taking. I know how to protect myself from it, and I know exactly what type of women I'm dealing with because I done did this over and over and over again. So I know exactly, you know what I'm saying, what I'm vetting for when it comes to sleeping with somebody.
So to be clear, because the only way you're gonna really know this is if they've taken a test and they show you the paperwork. I highly doubt that's what you require.
I don't do it every time. No, I'm with you. I don't do it every time. If it depends. So I have two ways I bet. If it's casual, like a quick hookup, there's a certain thing I do there. If it's somebody that's going to be more consistent, like I'm going to see, even if it's just like a FWB type of situation, I'm going to see you consistently. Those are the girls that get tested. If it's just like a one-off, then as long as you pass.
But you know, one-off, you can still.
No, I'm aware, but I'm telling you that I ain't got nothing. I done been with over 60 women. I ain't never got nothing.
You've been with 6 women?
I said 60, over 60, 60.
Okay. All right. I don't even know where my questions were. Let me go back. Let's wrap up this whole interview so we could at least do that. I think you did the Kendra Cam. Okay, so this is how we got here because you had a sex on Thursday. Okay, so it's the 3 flaws. What are 3 flaws you have to work on?
I could probably be more attentive just in like conversation. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I got ADHD, like I'm diagnosed, so sometimes my brain just drift off. And I found that in my marriage or different relationships, that can be a problem. So that's something I try to actively work on. Like I'm in therapy for stuff like that.
Okay. You have 2 more flaws?
Another flaw. Like in relationships or just in general?
Relationships in particular.
Okay. Nah, that's really it. I mean, I'm pretty honest. I feel like I do everything pretty much right. Like I don't do anything wrong by any women I deal with. I'm very nice and considerate, and I do good things for the women that do good by me. I very much believe in the philosophy of you got to give to get, you know. So
really, you have to give? Okay. So I have an outside question. So you talked earlier, if a guy wants to have sex on a second date and the woman says no, she has the right to say no, but she's uncooperative, and you suggest he leaves her.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you think if a woman ever says no to a man in any scenario, she's being uncooperative and the man should leave?
I would say this, for most things that happen in the very beginning, I would say yes, but there is some nuance to it. Like, if you are asking a woman to do something that's extreme, I would say it's a sign of high self-esteem and confidence if the woman told you no. Because
give me an example of that though, because I would think having sex on a second date is extreme. So what would be an example of something extreme?
Okay, so like, you know, if you just met a girl, right, and you told her to give you $300, this your first date or second date, right, and she said no, I would tell the guy that the level of cooperation that you're looking for from the woman, you would have to match her in your provision. So it's kind of like I told you, I run everything like a job. So it's like, you know, if you got somebody that's you paying them minimum wage and they just like a on the floor worker, you can't have them doing managerial type of responsibilities with no extra pay, no change in title, no upgrade in benefits and position and expect them to do it. You see what I'm saying? So that's basically what I'm saying. You can't give a woman instruction to do wife duties, taking care of your house and things like this, but you're not taking care of her. You're not giving to her as a husband. It would have to be, you got to give to get. You know what I'm saying? But telling a girl to show up on a date, for example, at a certain time, wear a certain thing, if you want her to come back to your spot, things like this, that's very normal in the beginning. If she don't do those things, you don't get 100% cooperation and like the typical basics, then yeah, she got to go.
I agree with being on the date on time if y'all agree to meet each other opposed to you picking her up. But I'm trying to listen. So you're saying, well, if it's an event, like let's say it's a black tie event and it's like, okay, we're dressed, we're going to a black tie event. But let's say it's not that type of event. You're saying he should be able to pick out her outfit?
Yeah, if you give her like a light instruction, like the girl I'm about to meet, and I do gotta go soon myself. Well, I'll be there about 12. That's because we meet at a bar. But I told her to wear a certain green dress because she sent me some pictures, and I said I like that one. I was like, wear that when I go. She was just like, okay, yeah. Like I see consistently between women that's fine. Like that's nothing that deep. So if she can't do that, like if I show up on this date and that girl wearing something different, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna still talk with her, have my drink because I'm a man of my word. I said we gonna have a drink. After the drink, I'm gonna say, I hope you have a good night, and it was nice meeting you, and I'm never gonna talk to her again because she don't cooperate. She can't follow instruction.
So she doesn't wear the dress you suggested for her to wear when you go see her. It will be the last time you see her.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless she says, because what a woman will do when they're interested is she's gonna say, hey, I didn't wear that dress because of XYZ actual reason. She's not just not, you know what I'm saying? She would say something about it. So if she did that, like, oh, it got messed up, it was dirty or something, that makes sense because I'm not irrational. But I'm talking about just not following instruction, resisting following my lead of where I'm trying to get it to go. You know, I'll end the day quick. I'll go on a date with a girl, and if I tell her to come sit closer to me and she don't do that, I'm gonna end the day. Like I ain't gonna end it right there. Like get all mad. I'm not mad about nothing. That's her right. Nobody can make me angry. Like I'm fine. I'm always at peace. I just know that. Oh yeah, if you can't listen on the small level, down the line trying to be my wife, like the stuff you was talking about holding it down. I know she can't do that. She can't even listen to this. Why would I keep her around?
I mean, I don't want to do any more debates, right? So it is what it is. But it almost seems like your opinion or your instructions have to be followed. If she has, I don't know, that's what it sounds like. So
yeah, it does. It does.
But a woman can have a better thought than you. And if you're unwilling to listen to her better thought because you have to be in control, that's not a team, that's a dictatorship. So we're not talking about the same things in that way of holding somebody down, because you could pick a woman that follows everything you say, and then if something happens to you, she don't know how to lead because that ain't the kind of woman you picked. You picked the woman that has to have you do everything. So what happens when she got to figure it out?
So just to answer that, like I told you, I'm very rational. So like but it's my thing. A woman has to. So most dudes are in the mindset they trying to do things to get women. Most guys think game is about getting women. I teach the opposite of that. Game is about having an effective game plan to get what you want. So I put women in position to do things to get me. Now, once you get into a spot, you've been consistent, 3 to 6 months, then at that point, you've earned the right to make suggestions and tell me stuff. And I'm not a type of guy that's like, oh, you told me to do that. Oh, I'm submitting to her now. Nah, if you've been around for 6 months following my program and you tell me something that's beneficial, I'll listen to what you're saying. I'm not a dummy. You see what I'm saying? But a girl that I just met, I don't owe her no right to listen to what she's saying. I said I want to go to this place at this time. If a girl make another suggestion on where we gonna go or what we gonna do, I'm never gonna talk to her again. That's just what it is. You got to earn the right to make suggestions in my life because I already got my life is good as it is. I'm looking for somebody to add on and be a helpmate to what I got going. So
well, let me jump in.
Has
you
to
also
follow my
said,
program.
Okay, so but what if there's a woman that's further along than you in what you do? Because you said you want a woman that you could create content with, right? So let's say she got better connections than you. She's been doing it longer, more followers. So her suggestion can lead y'all into a better situation. But you're already saying you're unwilling to take her suggestion because it's her suggestion. You literally just said this. If she's not doing what you want to do, you're not doing it. That's literally what you just said.
So you got to hear what I'm saying, Miss Kendra. I got you. I promise. So this is the thing. That is so for my life, right? Being a content creator and the stuff you're saying, that is my program. So what that woman would be doing in the scenario you gave is she's giving me a suggestion, right? That's helping my program. That's still under my leadership because I told her, right, that I'm trying to build XYZ with content and things like this. So she's giving me a suggestion that follows after what I'm on, right? But now if I met some girl and I'm telling her my diet is good and she's over here trying to tell me what to do when it comes to diet, and I'm not asking for help, or let's say I don't even care about diet, then I'm not going to listen to what she's saying, because now that's going outside of my purpose and my program that's for me. So as long as it falls under that umbrella, then we good. But to be honest,
Well, we'll wrap it up. Why would a woman, this is the last question, honey. Why would a woman be lucky to be with you?
I mean, that's just like, I feel like that question answers itself, but for the purpose of it, I'll answer it. I mean, I could talk about external things and stuff like that, like most guys do that talk about high value. I got all that. I don't care about that. What I say is this: my internal value, my mindset, the way I think, the way I move. A woman submits me and following after me, that'll be the best decision she made. Even girls that I don't deal with now, they always come back talking about how I elevated them in their mindset and their lifestyle and things that they do. It's a lot more to just the sex part. We focused on that one a lot, but with me, everything is elevation across the board. So even girls that don't stick with me, I make them better for the next dude they deal with. You know, I don't ghost girls. I tell women why things don't work out, you know what I'm saying? And they come back and I had a girl not that long ago come back. She got a boyfriend and she told me that the advice that I gave her helped her with that guy. Now, actually, I ain't gonna say that. Well, no, it ain't her name. She still was trying to cheat, but that's just, you know, that's another thing. But my whole point is I help women, you know. So if you experience me, whether it's short term or long term, it's gonna benefit you more than reading probably 100 books.
All right, y'all. Scorpion Chris, thank you for the super chat. Says, I just came out of the bathroom and I realized that I just flushed down more intelligence than these two people. And I had 2 bean burritos. Baby. Thank you once again for the super chat, Scorpion Chris. I appreciate you. Baby, listen, this was a lot, y'all. This was a lot. Once again, I think he made some valid points. Everything I don't agree with, but I think he made some good points. And look, if that's his program and that's what he believes and that's what he stands on, that's him. Hopefully he get the outcomes that he's looking for. That's all I can say. Because I've learned years ago, you cannot control other people. You know, I don't have to agree with everything you say or whatever, but you can't control people. People have their mind made up of what they want to do, and it's their life. And if you doing what you believe and you getting your outcomes, who am I to have a problem with it? You know what I mean? But this was a lot. Be Black 10 says, see, that's the issue most men have. Women don't listen. That's real talk. I don't want to hear that extra stuff for real. I get it. I get it. Thank you for the super chat. You know, I get it. You know, men who make decisions, they make the decisions and they know what they're doing. They're going to do it. They don't really need our input. Trust me. I learned that too. You know, sometimes this is why I said, well, women, sometimes you gotta know your lane. You gotta fall back. Let the man do what don't try to come and try to switch up what he got. He knows what he's doing. Women always think that they can do things better and have an input that's gonna make it better. It's not always the case. You can have, you know, advice or whatever, but you got to understand when to give it and when it's necessary and when it's warranted. If the man knows what he's doing and he's got that, don't go and interrupt that. You know, let him be. He knows what he's doing. Women think they know better than men on everything, and I just think that's where they mess up a lot. Thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. So, you know, it's just, oh Lord, I thought this was interesting. This was a long one, but it was very interesting. So listen. On that note, y'all, I gotta get out of here. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. It's been 3 hours. Lord have mercy. 3 hours. I didn't think I was gonna be on here that long, but I do appreciate you guys. I appreciate your thoughts. I saw something earlier. I think it was from who was that? I think it was Classy Perspective. Classy, if you're still in the building, I think you mentioned something about let me see. Was it about Cassie? Husband or whatever? Nah, that man right there. Nah, I think he should have been left her. I think he needs to leave her ASAP. That's just my thoughts. I don't know, child. Classy, you mentioned something about Cassie was a good man, or somebody mentioned something. I don't know. I think and I'm sorry, and y'all know I'm all about marriage and stuff, but I think Cassie's husband need to leave ASAP. I don't care. That situation right there, that he needs to go. He needs to go. I'm sorry. That's too damn much. I don't know if I was a man, if I could handle all of that stuff that was mentioned in that courtroom. I just couldn't do it. That's just to me, that's on a whole nother level. And it's all being exposed. It's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I don't think I could deal with that. That man was crying, breaking down. I'm like, dude, he got to go away and get his mind right. He needs therapy. He need to get his shit together and get away, take care of your kids. But you might need to rethink that whole marriage, because that's like, oh my God, you can only take but so much. I ain't saying try to handle all that. Like, that's too much. I ain't saying, that's too much. The girl cheated on him, went back and forth with the accuser, and all kinds of stuff was happening. God knows what was going on with that. Then when she walked away from him and went cheated, what did you think happened? You as the husband, you sitting there and your wife is getting, you don't know what the hell they doing over there. They probably had all kinds of Diddy parties in that little short time. Brought all the the freaks out just for that occasion. Oh, she back. They probably pulled Diddy them probably pulled no stops and said, come on, she back. Come on, let's get it popping. And had her swinging from the goddamn legs here, leg there, someone there. I mean, they really probably didn't. You gonna go back to your husband, girl? Child, I can't see it. I can't see that. No. That's just on a whole nother level, girl. Man, you got to get out of that, because it's going to ruin you. Now, he's going to be ruined for the rest of his life. He's going to have to get his sanity back and get away. That's too much. Too much. Too much. So be Black 10 right. And I'm just saying, and then she going to come on to you and pray like she the beautiful, loving wife after she done just been annihilated, with everything. Like, come on, they done pulled out all the stops, and then she gonna come back to you and hug on you and kiss on you and act like she's a loving, doting wife. You're my husband. I love you so much, Alex. That's what's his name, Alex Fine. And after you just have been, God knows, you can't even fathom what just had happened to Diddy. Allegedly Diddy is gonna pull. Come on. Oh, you coming back to me? Oh, come on, I'm gonna show you. I'm like, what? Nah, I think he should go. Yeah. That's just too much. But anyway, y'all, I got to get out of here. Thank y'all once again for the support. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Once again, thank y'all so much for supporting the channel via super chats and cash apps and liking the stream. Thank y'all so much for that. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for all the comments and your opinions and all of that. I appreciate you guys for being able to come over and give your thoughts and opinions. I do appreciate you for doing that. And support the channel. Make sure you guys are watching the videos that are already posted on the channel. I would appreciate you guys for doing that. Definitely help the channel to grow and get the views up on the videos that are already posted. If you are new in the building and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share, and like the stream as well, you guys. And hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. So shout out to everybody watching, everybody here, everybody who supports. I thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. And that is it. I'm gonna wrap this up. I will be back really, really soon. Make sure you have that notification bell turned on so that you'll be notified when I upload new content or go live. So hopefully I'll be back soon, you guys. So make sure you are, you are tuned in and you have that notification bell clicked to all so that you will get all of the content. So thank y'all once again. I love you guys. Y'all be safe out here in the streets, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye. Mwah. See y'all later. Bye.